bilang Okay, good morning, and I think it's the time to start the session. Is requested
Yes,
code.
very good
Yeah.
morning to everyone, to all the respected researchers, distinguished scholars, dear professors, PhD students. We would like to open this forum officially on 5th of August 2025 for International Conference on Business, Tourism, and Social Sciences. We would like to begin with the online participants because here we still have some poor weather condition, a lot of rain out here in Bangkok. So some of the participants may need some more time to get to the conference venue. However, since we have good number of participants here, we can begin with the online participation. But before, I would like to invite Professor Shakir to speak a few words, who is also the conference chair of ICEBTS, to speak, and then we can officially begin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Bilal, and good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Shakir, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to this international conference organized by IIARP together with Glovento. And I can see that we are fortunate to have such a distinguished group of scholars, including faculty members, PhD students, and many more, for a good and vibrant discussion in this session. And We are joined by Professor Dr. Bilal Khalid from KMITL, Bangkok, Thailand, who will be leading the physical as well as the online session as a session chair, and who will also assess all the live presentations. And based on this evaluation, the best papers and presenter will get awards in the form of certificate is excellent paper award, and the assessment criteria is quite straightforward, which include the best contents from the papers, presentation skills, time management skills, audience management, and the ability to offer some constructive feedback and comments, etc. So I trust that all the participants have already received the program schedule and additional instruction for this session. Please be noted that you have 7 to 8 minutes to complete your presentation, and then after your presentation, you will be asked, or you will have a discussion with other participants in the session chair for 2 3 minutes. This for everyone, 2 3 minutes for the Q&A after the presentation. And for those who already submitted their pre-recorded presentation, they don't need to play it here again on the Zoom. We will upload it to our YouTube channel, and later I will share the link in the chat box so you can check it on the YouTube channel there. Yeah. So, uh, thank you all once again for joining this session. Without wasting the time, I think it's time to start the session. But before that, I think it's quite important to share with you the organization who organized this conference. Some, mm, yeah, I prepared a short PPT. Let me share my screen. It's here. Yeah. Can you see it? Can you see my screen? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. So this is IIARP, which is a dynamic conglomeration of academia and professional dedicated to promote research and innovation, making a significant global impact. Our primary objective is to unite a researcher and professional from around the world, fostering an intellectual development and facilitating opportunities for networking and collaboration. This organization is actively engaged in different and various academic activities, including networking events, meetings, conferences, workshops, research projects, and many more other activities, including involvement in the cutting edge publication in different journals and scholarships as well. These are some of our associates, including Glovento, Conferencer 360, and manuscript edited by IIARP. And these are the things what we basically do. We connect scholars around the world in different activities, in conferences, in workshops, and many other academic activities. Uh, we are basically working on conferences from last 10 to 15 years in the national conferences. And we are working on academic journal publication in peer-reviewed journals, including Scopus in Web of Science Index journals. So IIRP is a well-known organization dedicated to fostering global scientific and academic collaboration with a rich history of organizing international and national conferences. And this is quite clear, and a lot of people know that IIARP has made significant contribution to different field of study. And our extensive network spans across numerous countries, including but not limited to Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Japan, East Asian, a lot of East Asian countries, and many more, including North America and Canada and many other countries. So here are some opportunities for participants. The publication opportunities. Your abstract will be published in conference proceeding with the DOI, and you can opt to publish your paper in peer-reviewed journals indexed by Google Scholar, Douch, and many other databases. Here also you can choose to publish your paper in Scopus in the Web of Science Index journal. And we are offering manuscript editing services. If you need that, we can also provide that to the participants. Here, I don't want to explain this in detail. If you are really interested to publish your paper in Scopus Index Journal, here are some criteria you need to follow in order to be considered for publication or peer review in Scopus and Web of Science Index Journal. You need to follow specific criteria. If you are interested later, I will share our contact number, and you can ask our expert team, and they will guide you how to do all these things before submission to these journal. A pre-submission check list, yeah, you need to do. These are some of the examples of the papers we published in Scopus Q1, Web of Science, and many other peer-reviewed international journals. These are some of the glimpses from the past conferences, and you can visit our website www.iiarp.org for exploring more. Here again, I will mention that for online participant, in order to be environmental friendly, we will send the proceedings and certificates in soft form to your email. That's quite important, and you will receive it through email. Thank you so much. That's all from my side. And now I will invite Professor Dr. Bilal Khalid to start the session and call one by one. If someone is not available, we can try it again later at the end. And I hope that some participant already arrived at the venue. So we can start from there. Yeah.
Sure. So, Professor Shakir, we have recently participants joining us in face-to-face interaction. Some of them are waving hello, So participants can also, share or exchange greetings. I wonder if we can begin with the very first participant, Chini and Anchita Fortes. Do we have the authors from University of Cordelas, Philippines? No,
Yeah, the paper ID 166.
I think maybe not from in person.
Oh,
So
so it is in person participant, but I don't know whether it's available or not. If it's not, then we can skip it, move to the next one, 167.
yes, Konan University from Japan. Okay, hello. So you Morimoto, right? So maybe if you can, would you like to screen share or how? Or you can maybe come over here. Yeah. Okay, maybe you can use this. I can give you out.
One thing more before, please, sorry, one thing more I need to mention, I forgot. On the screen user, can you please just add the last three digits of your paper ID to your name? Just
That's fine.
rename it with the last three digits of your paper ID, and this way we will know who is available, who is not.
That's fine. You can just, so, Yes.
Okay,
Let's try to need to wait just a
okay,
little bit. We are trying to get this in order, so apologize for a
no
moment.
problem.
Okay. Can use the microphone. So let's begin. You have few minutes, like 7 to 8 minutes into. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm Yuri Morimoto from Korea University in Japan. And today I speak about how can airports in urban areas expand their passenger catchment areas. And this one is a case study of Kobe Airport in Japan. This is my full page of this paper. Uh, Here is a mega city like Tokyo, and Shanghai, and Singapore, and Bangkok, and Osaka. And there are many smaller cities. And uh, there are also airports in both this mega city and each smaller city. And in my image, this smaller city about 100 kilometers or 300 kilometers from the mega city. And I think there are three steps uh, to a passenger in a smaller city use an urban airport. The first step is, of course, flights are available from the airport to the destination of the passenger. And the second step is the passenger know about the urban airport. I mean, this airport is available to going to the passenger's destination, and passengers in smaller cities need to know the existence of this airport. And finally, the urban airport is the best choice for the passenger. I explain the map of Japan. Here is Kansai region and the target of this paper. And here is Tokyo, and this one is Sapporo in Hokkaido, and here is Okinawa. And the population of Kansai region is about 19 million. So I can say Kansai is the second largest urban area in Japan. And Kansai has several World Heritage sites like Kyoto and Nara and Himeji Region Castle. So this Kansai region attracts many foreign tourists, and of course, 19 million Kansai people also go abroad from airport. That's why there are three airports in Kansai region. This one is the Kansai International Airport, and here is Itami Airport, and this one is Kobe Airport. Kansai International Airport is a gateway of Kansai region, and it has two long runways. So since this spring, only Kansai International Airport was the only international airport in Kansai, and this Itami Airport is used for domestic flights only, and this one is Kobe Airport, and this was used for only domestic flight. However, today, since this spring, international flight started from Kobe Airport. So I would say it's a good chance to develop Kobe Airport and city of Kobe. So I decided to research this topic. And in the western side of Kansai region, here is Chugoku region, and here is Shikoku region, and the distance from Kansai is about 100 kilometers or 300 kilometers, and there are totally 12 local airports. And local people in Shikoku region need to decide each airport to use. I mean, they use the local airport or our airport in Kansai region. And I use data from traffic survey for domestic passengers conducted by Japanese government, Civil Aviation Bureau of Japan, and I use about 1,000 samples traveling to Sapporo Chitose, and about 100 samples traveling to Okinawa Naha Airport. And this is the essence of my research. I explain the three options of local passengers. When local passengers in this area, they can choose from these three options. The first one is take a direct flight from a local airport to Shote or to Naha. However, the frequency is really low because this area is relatively small, so flight frequency is only one per day, or in more smaller cases, there are no direct flights. So the disadvantage is low frequency. And the second choice is take a direct flight from Kansai. I mean, in this region, passengers move to Kansai by railway or cars, and after that, take a direct flight to the destination. The advantage is high frequency because there are about 10 flights per day. However, the disadvantage is long airport access. In bad cases, it takes 3 hours to get Kansai. And the third option is to take flights and transfer at Tokyo, because there are many flights to Tokyo, because Tokyo is the capital city of Japan. So it's possible to take a flight to Tokyo, and after that, take another flight to the destination. And I analyzed passenger decision using the data. And my main results are these 5 results. The first result is option 1. I mean, direct flight is from local airport is more likely to be chosen when direct flights are available. It's because direct flights are, of course, very convenient. And the second result is that passengers tend to avoid long detour routes. I mean, passengers don't like to go to Tokyo and transfer to Okinawa, because in this case, the travel distance is really lower, and it's a waste of time. So passengers avoid long detour routes. And the third advantage is that airports in Kansai are likely to be chosen used in regions near to Kansai. It's because relatively short access. I mean, there are regions, from there are regions, it takes only 2 hours, so it's easy to get to Kansai. And the fourth result is LCC airlines attract passengers because of cheap tickets. And the fifth result is connection flights to local airports contributes to attracting passengers. I mean, there are some connecting flights from several airports in Shikoku or June regions. So these connection flights contribute to attract passengers. And based on my 5 results, I suggest some strategies for the airport.
Sorry for interruption. You have 3 more minutes, so please conclude it. Thank you.
The first idea is to invite flights to Southeast Asian countries. It's based on circumference. The reason is there are no flights from Chukchi regions, so there are no choice for local passengers to take direct flights, so it's easy to attract local passengers to Kansai. And the second reason is Tokyo is in the opposite direction of Southeast Asia, so passengers don't like to connection flights at Tokyo. So from this perspective, candidate cities are Singapore, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and Manila. And on the other hand, Seoul, Taipei, and American and Canadian cities are not a good option for them. And second idea is to improve access to Kobe Airport. Using this idea, Kobe Airport can change from far but convenient airport to a near and convenient airport. So today, the city of Kobe has 2 plans to improve airport access. The first one is to operate a direct bus from the high-speed railway station to the airport. And the second idea is, the second plan is to construct a new road to avoid road congestion. And plus, I have 2 ideas to invite low-cost airlines to go airport and invite more connection flights to go airports. And finally, I just want to say, in this paper, I analyzed airport choices of local passengers and suggested strategies and policies for Kobe Airport to increase passengers. However, this analysis is at prefecture level, so I need to research more details. So I need to analyze at city level, and this paper is based on economics. So other perspectives is also important, like marketing, promotion, and technology. So, so this paper has several future tasks. So, thank you.
Good, thank you. Any questions from our participants? No? Okay. If you have any questions, please be kind to ask, or we can move to the next presentation.
Yes, if any question from the online participants as well as in-person participants, or if you have any comments for this presenter. If no, then we can move to the next
Excellent
one.
presentation. Very interesting to find out how we can overcome the congestions and we can propose the strategies for the urban areas. Like we also have two airports in Dongmuan and Suvarnabhumi. A lot of people like to travel to Suvarnabhumi to avoid congestion. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I think this result can apply for this case.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, we can go with the next presentation. It is also from University of Cordelas, Philippines. You're welcome. Do we have any participants? No? The same? Oh, yeah. Outside the group? Okay, let me ask them to come over. Okay.
Dr. Bilal,
Yes. Yes, yes.
Dr. Bilal, can you please just share your screen, your PPT through screen?
Yes, I am trying to figure out. So we have the guests from Philippines already here. So
Okay, that's good.
yes, allow me to manage the meeting room.
Thank you.
I think let's give them some time to settle down because they just recently arrived. What we can do, we can.
Yeah, if you can connect the presentation and they can share it through the screen as well,
Yes. So
through the
maybe the
projector in the room, that will
yeah,
be, I think, better for online participant as
sure.
well.
So shall we invite? Uh, is Jenny here? Jenny? Okay, Jenny, are you ready for presentation? Okay, so do you have the thumb drive or okay for the presentation? Okay, okay, maybe I can try to. Yeah, maybe I hope. I'm not sure how we connect. I also don't have my course. Wow, wow, hard. Sometime it works. So we have a presentation here, right? Which one is yours? Huh?
Navigating the third one.
The third one? Okay. Let me also put this on sharing screen because just a moment. Okay.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can use this. Would you like to go together? Just one, right? Okay. Okay. Yes. You can give it to me later. Yes. You can ask me and I can moderate it because I don't have enough USB ports. Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. So we can invite Jenny, and the topic of the presentation is navigating the complexities of child in conflict with the law, rehabilitation, multidisciplinary team experiences and challenges. So Jenny, welcome on board, first of all, and you have 10 minutes in total of duration, yes. So try to be concise, share the findings, and then uh, there will be Q and answer session for 2 minutes. Okay, if we have any questions. Yes, all the best. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Let me first introduce myself. I am Chani Fortas from the University of the Cordilleras, Philippines. So it is an honor to stand before you today and represent our research study entitled Navigating the Complexities of Dealing with Child in Conflict with the Law, exploring the unheard side of the multidisciplinarity. So this study is a collaborative effort with my co-authors who are also students from the University of the Cordilleras, guided by our deep desire to amplify the voices of the often overlooked professionals working with one of the most vulnerable group in our society, and that is the children in conflict with the law or those children who committed a crime. Next. So, to help frame our study, allow me to share a quote by our national hero, Dr. Rizal, which he stated that ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. In English translation, it means that the youth is the future of our nation. So this word have echoed through generation in the Philippines. But for us researchers, this raises a critical question because we ask, what happened when those youth whom we consider as the future of our nation found themselves in conflict with the law or found themselves committed a crime? And more importantly, who stand beside them when the rest of society walks away. And that's the multidisciplinary team. That's the study seeks to understand their journey not just as professional, but as a humans navigating complex systems, facing emotional strain, and yet committed to help these children rebuild their future. Sir? So children committing crime is not only happening in the Philippines, but across the world, we see children involved in criminal acts, driven by a range of factors, such as poverty, lack of education, abuse, broken families, and also the multidisciplinary team is the one who the key role in the rehabilitation process of these children. In fact, their role is clearly recognized under Republic Act 10630, also known as an act strengthening the juvenile justice worker in the Philippines. So this multidisciplinary team are tasked to provide an intervention program for these children. So while many studies have focused on the perspective of CICL, we ask ourselves, what about those professionals or those as adults behind the scene, the ones facilitating healing, discipline, and transformation for these children? Very little academic literatures focus on their experiences, their challenges. That's why we conducted this study. Next year. So this is the research question of our study. First is, what is the classification of crime committed by the CICL? Second, what is the level of implementation of multidisciplinary on the standard operating procedure in the rehabilitation of CICL? Third is, what are the challenges encountered by the multidisciplinary team in dealing with CICL? So under the 1944 of the Philippines, we call it as an act of the Juvenile Justice Verbal Act of 2012. When we say CICL or children in conflict with the law, these are those child below 18 years of age who have committed an offense in the Philippines. Next. So the study utilized a convergent parallel mixed matter design. It means that we use quantitative and qualitative data simultaneously, then we analyze them separately, and then we compare the result to provide a clear and complete conclusion. So in the quantitative data, we use a survey questionnaire, which first undergo a reliability testing of Conrack alpha, which is called as 0.839, indicating a high reliability before distribution. And an interview was utilized for our qualitative data, which was answered by the multidisciplinary team to help us explore what there are challenges, their experiences, and insight in working with CICL. And the total enumeration was utilized for the population, an 18 CICL, and 81 multidisciplinary team. Next year. So this study is conducted in RRCY, means Regional Rehabilitation Center for Youth. It is located in the mountainous area of Sablan, Benguet, Philippines. We consider it as the best location of our study because it houses different CICL from different regions, so it can provide us different perspective and comprehensive data that reflect their future, their background, and circumstances. So since this study involved a very sensitive information and confidential information, our study first undergo a protocols of the ethical review board, and we receive a clearance before gathering any data collection. So now let's pertain to the result of our study. It is pertaining to the crime committed by CICL. 72% are crimes against person. It includes homicide, murder, or physical assault. And 17% are crimes against property. So it can be a cases of theft, robbery, and RA 9165, it is called in the Philippines as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. It is a law in the Philippines that provide for the preventive measure and control and penalization of an illegal use of drugs. Next. So the result next is the level of implementation of the MDT under standard operating procedure. So the overall result of the level of implementation is highly implemented, which is answered by the CISL. And as you can see here, the four indicator is one of the highest, which pertain to the communication between the MDT and the CICL. So it is consistent and effective in handling resident cases. And number 7 is also the second highest. It pertains to the rehabilitation, receive consistent support and guidance from the MDT throughout their rehabilitation process. So overall, the level of implementation of the MDT on the rehabilitation center of the CSL is highly implemented. So now let's pertain to the challenges they encounter. Since we see that the level of implementation is highly implemented by the MDT, so this is the result regarding their challenges they encounter. First is the family and community stigma. It pertains to the uncooperative parents since based on our findings, some parents are the one who is smuggling some items in the center like cigarettes and drugs. And the community stigma since they are the one who will accept the children after having them. They fail to accept them and label them as criminals. And we have here the resistance to program participation. It pertains to the problem regarding resistance of CICL to participate in the program because some of them have experienced trauma. That's why there are lack of willingness to learn and participate in the activity. And CICL misbehavior, it includes bullying and other peer influence in the rehabilitation center. And the managing security concern, it pertains to the escape attempts. And based on our findings, I think five attempts a month will happen in the rehabilitation center. And influence of diverse perspective. So since the rehabilitation center houses CICL from different culture, it affects how does the MDT work with them. So work-related stress, since this is a problem of the CICI, the MDT or the challenges they encounter, there are stress related in their work. Next, sir. So here is the conclusion. So while the MDT approach in CICI rehabilitation is strongly implemented, the rights and well-being of the MDT members are often overlooked due to the stigma and challenging work conditions, highlighting the need for greater support. So this is where what we recommended. Next, sir. So you should enhance the family and community involvement, implementing awareness campaign, providing training on crisis management, and establishing protective policies will strengthen the MDT support and improve CIC rehabilitation outcomes. So allow me to introduce our group study. It's only an infographic materials, but it can help us to strengthen the programs offered by the MDT to be able for us as a community we can help to prevent these children in committing any crimes. And a certificate of acceptance was issued by the RCY to accept our output of the study. So before I end this presentation, I would like to leave a quote. We strengthen lives not only by giving second chances, but by strengthening the hands that make those chances real. Because I believe second chances are not just given, they are not magical, but it was built slowly, painfully, and patiently by those hands who wants to offer them. That's it all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, any questions from the participants here? Would you like to ask anything or anyone from the online audience? No questions? Interesting presentation, interesting topic. Again, rehabilitation is very critical. So glad to see the insights of your team and the Philippines University on this. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Uh,
so wait, just one question, or I can
okay.
say it's just a suggestion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just want to ask because this is a very sensitive topic of collecting data from like the juvenile delinquents or minors. So I think it's important to mention in your paper or manuscript how did you approach to those individuals or participants. And one thing more, I don't know whether you didn't mention it in the PPT or you didn't apply the statistics or statistical models into your papers that may be required by any peer-reviewed journal. If you can tell us something about that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we have also another participant from University of Cordilleras, Jessica. Jessica, are you here? Yeah. Maybe Jessica can come, and then we have Nika. Yeah. Do we have Nika here? Okay. So maybe Jessica can come first, and then we have Rick Dara, right? Okay. So maybe after, yes, Nika, you can go. And then we have Kwang Xia Leo, right? Okay. Later. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you have a poster presentation? Okay. That's fine. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Later. I can ask them to. Yes. Yes. Okay. And okay. Please be kind to tell me it's which one? Digital rights? Okay. Okay. Don't forget your phone. Okay. Yes. Very important. Yes.
So good morning, everyone. I am from the Philippines. My name is Chasto Pilikian, and the same with the first presenter, I am from the University of the Cordilleras. So here presented is my co-authors, and thankfully with the help of our advisor, Ma'am Nika Tugana, con- we are able to, sorry, Jenny, can you please help me with the presentation? So I will be presenting a research entitled Digital Rights, Social Media Usage Patterns, and Cyberbullying Awareness Among Senior High School Students. So all of us surely use social media platforms like Facebook and TikTok, right? So cyberbullying, a pervasive issue particularly affecting teenagers, is recognized as the most common online risk for this age group. While social media platforms offer opportunities for communication and entertainment, they unfortunately also have serve as a space where young individuals are vulnerable to be bullied or harassed. These harmful experiences are not merely disciplinary matters, but constitute a violation to the right to be free from violence, the right to dignity, and the right to a safe and secure environment. In the Philippines, we have a law that is addressing cyberbullying. Namely, it is the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Although research on its implementation is lacking. In local government units, we also implement ordinances such as the anti-bullying ordinances in cities like Baguio. This aims to mitigate cyberbullying by mandating anti-bullying committees in schools and penalizing perpetrators. However, challenges persist, particularly for vulnerable groups facing online discrimination. This highlights the need for stronger institutional frameworks and inclusive community-driven efforts. Thus, our study aims to explore the patterns of social media usage and the awareness level of cyberbullying among senior high school students. Our study also aims to explore the relationship between these two topics. So our study has used descriptive design with a total of 690 participants from 2 different schools in Baguio City. Of course, we have also given consent letters, so to make sure that our participants voluntarily participated. We have chosen them through a stratified random sampling and used it for our tool. We used survey questionnaire, which was validated through reliability testing with a result of 0.73. For our analysis, we have used frequencies and percentage for the usage patterns and the mean scores for awareness level. A one-way ANOVA and gains well post-hope to test differences and person correlation to assess relationships between social media usage patterns and their level of awareness. Of course, we have also had the ethical review board to approve our research with informed consent and data privacy measure in place. So these are our findings as to the frequency of daily use social media usage of senior high school students. As you can see here, there is a 49% of the participants use their social media up to 4 to 6 hours. And in total, with the 4 to 6 hours and 7 or more combined, that's a total of 78%. Next, please. As to their frequency of account checking, 415 students check their accounts multiple times a day. That's 2 to 3 hours interval. And 173 for constantly, less than an hour. So as you can see, a lot of students check their accounts multiple times a day. And for once a day, there's like 20% of that students. So it's very less. Next is for the frequency of social media activity among senior high school students. Most students watch videos, that's 621, and chatting for 505 students, posting, that's about 188, and for commenting, 98. As for the frequency of most frequently used social media platforms, the most used platform would be TikTok, contrary to what we have assumed, which was supposed to be Facebook. As you can see, it's the third most commonly used. And next to TikTok is Instagram, third Facebook, fourth X or Twitter, and the last is for the others, such as Reddit. And for the frequency of social media engagement style among senior high school students, usually they just browse. That's about 443 or more than 90% of the students, which also correlates with the watching of videos, the most common activity among senior high school students, and about 247 are posting and interacting. Now let us go to the level of awareness of cyberbullying among senior high school students. As to the content, we can see that they have a very high level of awareness. That's 4.66. So they, as to the general knowledge, they know what is cyberbullying. As to the involvement of harmful behavior, understanding that online harassment can also include negative impacts. Next. As to the level of awareness of forms on cyberbullying, they have also a very high awareness, which is 4.52. However, some, as you can see with the indicators here, although it is high, 4.73, there's a significant difference with
Sorry
the
for interruption. You have 3 more minutes, so please conclude it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
3 minutes. Thank you. So, next. For the level of awareness on the consequences of cyberbullying, we also have a very high, which with 4.52, grand mean of 4.52. However, there's a significant difference as to the legal consequences. Next. On the relationship between daily social media usage patterns, frequency of social media account checking, and social media engagement style to cyberbullying awareness, there is a significant relationship between daily social media usage patterns. However, it is less significant in frequency of social media account checking and social media engagement style. As for our conclusion, although there is a significant relationship between the amount of time spent on social media and cyberbullying awareness, as to the how often they check their accounts, it doesn't affect awareness, and their engagement style has only a weak effect. So we have recommended to promote responsible social media use, to integrate legal digital literacy in schools, collaborate with local government units and platforms for awareness campaigns, and to develop pamphlets with legal rights and coping strategies. So this is the pamphlet that we have created, which was distributed to the schools that have participated in our research. Here we have we have presented our main findings, a description of the cyberbullying, also to provide where they can ask help when they are cyberbullied in their schools. We have the guidance center or the Office of Students Affairs and Services in the University of the Cordillera, and with the contact information. Next, please. We have also included here the laws that penalizes cyberbullying. That's all.
Anyone else may have any questions?
Yeah, I'll speak up. Anita. You notice any differences by age? Is like older senior kids bully more or less than younger kids in high school? Well, how about gender as well? Was there differences between gender groups in bullying?
In our research, we didn't cover that the differences between gender. However, we only included that we didn't also cover that's our limitation in our study, that we didn't cover since our study only focused on senior high school students who are above 18 years old. And as for the age and as for the gender, we didn't separate that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other question?
The same question.
The same question. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you. We can move to the next participant from the same university. Yes. Right? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Okay, good morning everyone. So supposedly for this topic, Nika would be presenting, but she wasn't able to come here. So I'll be presenting the research on behalf of the group that created this research. So I am Natalia Esteban.
The same with this first two presenters. I'm from the University of the Cordilleras, Philippines. And the title of our study is the Accessibility Rights, exploring the mobility for persons with visual and orthopedic disabilities in Baguio City, Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the introduction, the vision for inclusion. Of course, it is very important for us to recognize the rights of persons with disabilities to access physical environments, information, and public services. So with that, generally or globally, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability was serving as the landmark for this particular rights. And for the Philippines to be able to support this convention, Philippines were able to enact two particular laws, which is the Magna Carta for Disabled Persons, which is the Republic Act 7277, and the Accessibility Law, or the Batas Pambansa 344. So, however, despite all, or despite this convention and two laws that was enacted in the Philippines, there still seems to be inconsistencies when in terms of the implementation. So we can still see um, some facilities, infrastructures that are not like literally following or like going through with this law. So for this study, we would like to address a critical gap, which is the limited localized assessment of urban space accessibility, particularly those integrating the direct perspectives of PWDs themselves. So we focused on assessing the mobility infrastructures for persons with disabilities in the Central Business District of Baguio City. Next, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so for our problems, for you to look at it more clearly, so the purpose of this study is to evaluate the mobility solutions and challenges experienced by PWDs in navigating public places, infrastructure, and transportation system in Baguio City. So first, what mobility solutions are currently available for persons with sensory and orthopedic disability navigating Baguio City in the following areas? So we have public buildings, transportation facilities or terminals, recreational facilities, walkways and pavements, and lastly, public utility vehicles. The second problem is that what are the experiences of persons with sensory and orthopedic disability while navigating the city? Next, sir. So for our approach, so we employed a case study approach to provide an in-depth examination of accessibility rights within the Baguio City. And our study was conducted, by the way, in the Central Business District, so the main center of Baguio City. And the participants included 8 persons with sensory and or orthopedic disabilities. And we made sure that the participants are 18 years old and above. And these participants are either a local resident of the place or at some point work in Baguio City. So additionally also, we have employed 20 observers. I'm so sorry. Okay. So we have a observation guide based on the standards or based on the university standards. We were able to employ 20 trained observers to systematically document the accessibility features across 5 infrastructure categories. So an interview guide for the respondents was an interview guide consisting of semi-structured open-ended questions was used to explore the direct experiences and mobility challenges of persons with disabilities. So, as primary data gathering tools that was used, we have the observation guide and interview guide. Next, sir. So for the findings of our study, there has been a mixed reality of progress and gaps we would not deny. So our findings revealed a mixed picture of accessibility in Baguio City, with some progress alongside significant areas that needs improvement. So for public buildings, we found an average of 66% accessibility features. So all observed establishments had clear signages for accessible entrances, and also there is an adequate pathway lighting for the persons with disabilities. However, service counters were entirely not compliant. So there is a only one, like if I am in a wheelchair and I would like to approach the counters, I need to stand up, but I cannot stand up because I'm in a wheelchair. So there is no lowered part of the counter. And also, there is an accessible restroom for persons with disabilities. There's also parking spaces that are reserved for them. And their with only showed 60% compliance. So some of the doors you need to close first or fold some of the wheelchairs so that they can fit into those doors. Okay. So next one for sir, please go ahead. For the transportation facilities or terminals, this category had the lowest compliance rates out of all the categories. So there was a complete absence of critical features like designated drop-off or pick-up areas, ramps or lifts for um, plat- platforms and accessible ticket counters. While PWDs were prioritized to skip queues, this informal accommodation does not replace the need for dedicated accessible infrastructure. So that is one thing that is good in our place, because once a person or once the staff see that the person has disabilities, they would automatically go and then would lead them in front. So they would be skipping the queues. They would no longer need to wait for few minutes. Okay, next one for the recreational facilities. They showed an average of 35% accessibility features, a positive finding that all five facilities had designated accessible restroom and changing areas. So, however, most lacked accessible parking. So, in our study, only 20% showed compliance for the accessible parking and ramps also. And none had sensory play elements, like for if you're a um, visually impaired and you would not see, there is no like maybe a sound that would indicate stop or whatsoever. For walkways and paveways, this area demonstrated relatively strong compliance with an average of 70% um, accessibility features. So all observed areas had curb cuts, tactile paving, and at intersections, tactile indicators at pedestrian crossing, designated accessible street parking, and obstacle-free sidewalks. And a notable gap was the absence of accessible bus stops with level boarding platforms. And only 20% had audible signals at pedestrian crossing. Then lastly, for the public utility vehicles, accessibility features were limited with an average.
Sorry for interruption. You have 2 more minutes, so please conclude it. Thank
Two
you.
more minutes. You need to conclude.
So there, 40%, while designated seating areas were present, the absence of critical infrastructure severely restricts the independence of PWDs. Next, sir. So beyond the numbers, these are the personal perceptions of the persons with disabilities. So constrained navigation with familiar zones. So according to them, usually they avoid places they're not familiar with and places they haven't been to, with the fear that they might not be able to go there freely and they might be experiencing some difficulties. Another one is continuous public and staff assistance. So this is very positive because according to the participants, the public is always ready to help them. And one stated that Baguio is quite good, especially now that the younger people are eager to help especially at crossing the street. And then lastly, for basic physical accessibility, one of the participants stated that it is actually getting better. Things are being improved. For blind people, and stairs are not so steep anymore. But of course, with all these positivities comes a lot, a little bit of problem. Like the floor braille is slippery when it's rainy season and accidents might occur. Especially now that in the Philippines, it's actually the rainy season. So some things like this, accidents happens. Next week. So in our conclusion, while Baguio City demonstrates growing awareness and some progress in accommodating persons with disabilities, there remain considerable gaps in mobility infrastructure. So the full realization of the rights of persons with disability is inherently linked with their unrestricted access to physical infrastructure and communication systems. Hence, to empower persons with disabilities to be independent, specifically those suffering from physical disability, a barrier-free environment is critical. So as this study has revealed, one of the most critical areas requiring urgent intervention is the transportation system. And in accordance with existing legal mandates, as mentioned a while back, licenses for PUB shall not be granted unless they are equipped with designated seats and audiovisual aids and are sufficient space to allow wheelchair maneuver. So for the recommendation, it was already included in the conclusion, prioritizing and enhancing accessibility and transportation system. So maybe if they could only mandate all public utility vehicle registration to include those before giving them the actual permit, it would be very helpful to those persons with disability. And lastly, mandate and implement comprehensive disability awareness and sensitivity trainings for staffs of public buildings, transportation facilities, public utility vehicles, complemented by targeted awareness campaign. So to support the mentioned positivity or positive response of the public in terms of helping these persons with disability, and it would be formalized by providing training, build on existing positive attitudes, and ensure consistent, respectful, and effective support. So that would be for the research. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions from the participants? No. Do we have any questions from the online audience? Okay, thank you very much. We can move to the colleagues from Japan. Okay, you need to take your, yes, thank you. You're welcome.
You want us to do that?
I can control if you like.
If I can.
Okay, you can do it. Okay, good. I will let you.
Make it.
Yeah.
Try to make your job a little easier.
Yes, great.
I think the way it's set up is
Everybody.
probably 5
Yes.
minutes.
So let's do it faster.
Yeah, there we go.
I need to see where is the USB drive. Where is this? My computer. Where is it? No. Is it this one?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe I share and it's okay. So maybe you can control it.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Okay.
Morning. My name is Rick Dara. This is Peter Ferguson. Scott Canal. We're going to talk about foreign teachers in Japan and Thailand. So, introduction. First off, this is a 3-year research project focused on teacher training in Thailand and Japan. Talking about teacher expectations for real world outcomes. Methods and data collection.
Sorry.
We did semi-structured interviews with over 20 teachers in Thailand and Japan. We did field observations in schools in both countries, collected training artifacts and documents in both countries. And we used the analytical lens of intercultural sensitivity, positionality, and critical realism. If you want me to explain any of those after, I'll be more than happy Background, foreign teachers in Thailand and Japan. Thailand, 6,129 foreign teachers as of 2021, according to Thai government information. And out of those, 2,667 were Filipino teachers. 43% were Filipino teachers. Then much smaller numbers, British Americans and so on. And comparing that to Japan, 5,355 teachers are in the JIP program. JIP program is a program where people graduate university and they go to a Japanese school and assist a Japanese teacher in a high school, junior high school, elementary school. Out of that group, 2,920 were Americans, and then the rest were British and Canadians. But the number one growing group of consistent language teachers in Japan are Filipino teachers. Okay. Roles, broader teaching duties in Thailand as compared to Japan. So, for example, teachers need to pass knowledge, but here in Thailand, we have to pass students who fail. So, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I think Filipino education ideas are much more aligned with Western ideas, and Japan and Thailand are much more aligned. And there's an increasing number of foreign teachers working in Thailand. And next, I'm going to hand it off to Scott, who's going to talk about teacher training in Thailand.
So, teacher training in Thailand, it's mostly about how foreign teachers are getting teaching licenses in Thailand. So, we talked a little bit about the Teacher and Educational Personnel Council Act, which states that the teaching profession will be licensed, and so there's a regulation, a set of tests and things like that. The teaching license here didn't start until fairly late. 2005 was a pretty late start, but that's when it started in Thailand. Before that, people were just appointed to be teachers. So now, in order to become a teacher, there's testing. And in the first round of this, 38 foreigners took the test, all failed. The next chance that they had maybe to pass the test again was in 6 months. So there's a lot of gap in there. About the test, this was one of the responses that we received. I never took the test, to be honest, but I know a lot of people who did take it. A common comment was, it was really hard. If you have not graduated as a teacher, it will be a really hard one, a really hard test. So there are a lot of people that teach, but don't have a degree in education. So moving on from the test, Thailand tried a cultural course that made sure that the incoming teachers were familiar with cultural literacy coming into Thailand, into the classroom. This culture course was 3 days, about 24 hours, 8 hours per day. And the topics that were covered were Thai society, language arts, and legal issues. I also had to do the joke about Thai culture course, because this person didn't particularly care for it, which taught me nothing I didn't already know. He, however, has taken the course and enjoyed it immensely, right? Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
So when the next step that Thailand's trying to make the licensing more available and more complete, there's now a 7-module course run by the TPDI. It is 420 hours, which is a great deal more than the 24 that was necessary before. Covers global change, psychology, curriculum, research, communication, quality assurance, and ethics. So a lot of material over 7 courses. The modules for foreigners started in 2024, so very recently. It's only been going for about a year. Apparently, I got to pay some kind of fee or something before the end of August, but there ain't no info whatsoever by the TCT. So the problem that people keep running into trying to get the teaching license is really the government hasn't decided for sure exactly what they want, and so they're trying many different things, but nobody's in complete control of all of the processes and everything that needs to be done by when, by who, what information is necessary for the teachers to submit. So it makes it very, very challenging. Our school 2 weeks ago, our HR resubmitted our paperwork to the Teachers Council of Thailand. Basically, this says we resubmitted everything. We're not sure when we're going to find out what we need to do, or who we need to talk to, or how much it's going to cost, or anything else. And we keep waiting for this to be resolved. No one knows what's going on. KSP keeps moving the goalposts. So we want to do this. Oh wait, no, we need to do this. Oh no, we got to do this one too. No, one more. And so it's hard to get everything squared away and make sure that the teachers know what they need to do. Yeah, and then I'm going to pass along to Pete for the last bit.
Yeah, just 2 minutes give a contrast to what goes on here, or what goes on where we are in Japan. The ALTs are called assistant language teachers, as was explained earlier. The JET program has 3 categories. One is international relations, sort of coaching for sport, and then the teachers. They are hired by the Japanese government, or they're hired by dispatch companies. They're sent to schools, and basically it's kind of be shoved in the deep end. Basically, there's no training whatsoever. A lot of orientation taking place at the school, heavy reliance on the job training, informal mentoring. They're assistant language teachers, so they're team teaching, they're working with a Japanese teacher. And so that's the idea, really, is to sort of sink or swim as they go along. There are a number of foreigners who are getting their Japanese teaching licenses. Rick and I have ours, but it's probably since long expired since then. To get the licensing, what you basically done is it's done through the school, and it's for motivation of the schools. Mostly it's done through private schools. So the private schools will then sponsor the teacher. The teacher then goes through, gets a licensing through the local board of education. Here's one of the problems, though, the challenges is the language issue here. Dealing with handwritten confessions, Japanese is difficult. So if students do something really, really bad, students have to write like a little hanseibun. This is what they did bad and stuff. And so dealing with those type of things, or working with the parents and stuff, is a really, really hard thing. When I was doing it, that was my biggest nerve-wracking thing, was actually getting together and talking with the parents rather than actually dealing with the schools. And yeah, it was
And that guy too.
perfect. Exactly. Results and expectations, and I think we're wrapping it up soon.
We got a minute.
We have a minute.
Yeah, just to give you a rough idea, Peter was a high school teacher in Japan. I was a high school teacher in Japan. I was a high school teacher in America, and I also did the Thai teaching for a high school training program here as well. So the disconnect between training programs and what teachers need to do. So that's what we kind of looking at research. Participants' expectations of what they're going in. And high school teachers are high school teacher everywhere in the world, but it's not the same. Expectations of teachers going in from the United States into Thailand compared to a teacher coming into the Philippines might be very different. Philippines is very close geographically to Thailand. They might come in and say, well, it might be some things are the same, but there are cultural differences. Whereas a teacher maybe from Australia might be coming and say, well, Thailand's a completely different culture. I don't know what's going to happen. So their expectations are different. Bureaucratic inefficiencies in Thailand sometimes happens, and that's causing problems in the program. Japan, there's a lack of post-certification support. Teachers get the license and that's it, just go run, do your job. And then there's issues with language, because teaching in Japan requires a lot of Japanese language, dealing with students, dealing with parents. And then on the other side, there's a monolithic image of the foreign teachers are all just the same. So a foreign teacher comes into Japan. Japan thinks, well, all these teachers are going to be the same. We just have to make a training program for foreign teachers to introduce them to Japanese culture, Japanese way of dealing with high school students, way of doing your daily job as a teacher in high school. But it's very, very different depending on the expectations of the people going into the program. And
so Western, yeah. So as you explained, Western people have a certain. They go in thinking, I have no idea what's going on, but somebody whose culture is a little closer, like from the Philippines, might assume that, oh, in this situation, this is going to happen, but it might not. So
That came up
that's
in the data. We interviewed a lot of Filipino teachers as well in the Philippines, Thailand, and their expectations were this should be the same, very close, both Asian cultures. But how high schools work is very, very different. So there's a need for more adaptive content, sensitive training models, not just like a training program for foreigners, but maybe a training program for Western teachers, a training program for the teachers from other Asian countries and so on. And a more transparent supportive licensing system and structured mentorship programs. So helping teachers once they get their license and they work in the high school to make them better teachers in the long term. And expand research. We want to expand research of Asian countries can be a best practices for teacher training, particularly in high school. And acknowledgements, Cochrane Great. Hey, thank you, Jeff. And then some colleagues working at Montgomery University helped us as well. And thank you for your attention. Any questions? Thank you. You have a question? Sure.
When you just mentioned the teacher license,
Yeah.
you mean like you teach bilingual? You teach English in Japan and Thailand, so you need a teacher license?
Well, it depends. I mean, in Thailand, a lot of foreign teachers teach math and English. So not just English. In Japan, a lot of teachers who get the special license are English teachers, but some of them are not always. There's people who get the special license who work in like health center, high school. They even at school nurse need to teach a license in Japan. So it's not just English. It's a variety of different jobs. But foreign teachers going in and doing some of those jobs. Anything else? Great. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we have one more presentation. I think maybe since you have the presentation, allow me to. Hello, Professor Shakir. We have another presentation which is mainly based on poster. So I think there is no such requirement. Maybe we can just let the author to elaborate a little bit. Maybe just a brief presentation because it is a poster presentation. Okay. Okay, maybe yeah. Or maybe just read out.
I'm very happy to share with you my research on AI impacts digital textbook for aesthetics education.
Sorry, what paper ID is this?
System textbooks are still most commonly used learning material. However, traditional textbooks often fail to support student aesthetic literacy or engagement. With recent advanced AI and digital tools, we now have new opportunity to redesign textbook in an interactive and meaningful way. I study focus on designing AI-enhanced digital textbook for elementary school students, aiming to make learning more engagement and supporting core aesthetic education. I use the design-based research (DBR) approach, going through a four-stage: preparation, implementation, evaluation, and application, and decision-making. Textbook was redesigned as a web-based interactive platform. Feature tools such as AI course assistant, AR 3D effects, and the VR museum and the sketch minimum game. Those elements was all designed to support motivation, post-lesson reflection, for example, academics or cultural content through a political map interacting with the customer icons. AR contents were used in the car from the student and the teacher purposes as limited for architecture that are hard to be visible. Initial classroom implementation show the highest size of the engagement and learning outcomes. Most important, this approach aligns better with how today a generation that process information visually and interactively. In conclusion, this project shows how AI and AR can enhance not only the content delivery, but also as a dimension of learning, an often overlooked of learning education. Thank you so much.
I also been there. Here have some link if you want to take a look on the AI here.
Sure. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for the insights to the AI enhanced aesthetic digital textbooks. So if we have any questions from the participants in the room. Okay. Professor Shakir, maybe.
Dr. Bilal, so the seventh, the paper ID, the last one, the 758.
Yes.
So, in-person participant.
Yes. I think she already presented. Yes.
She already presented?
Yes. Because it's a poster presentation, so we don't need the formal presentation, right? It's made up from the poster.
So all the in-person presentation are done. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, that is
Okay,
correct.
good. Okay, good.
So
So
what my idea is, we can just let the face-to-face participants to go for a networking or maybe a small break, and then uh, we can further continue with the online presentations. One more presentation? Do we have one more presentation? The last one? You, I think, yes, Professor Shakir, small confusion. We have one more presentation. Maybe you can come over now.
yeah,
Yes.
please. Yeah, I was thinking it's not
Apologize.
yet done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so please go ahead with the last one.
Yes. Okay, maybe you can give it to me.
What's the paper ID? 758, am I right?
7, 8. What's your paper ID? It's 785. You can. Yeah. Okay, it's 758. Okay, maybe you can use this. I can help you to order it. Yeah, you can. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you can. I will just let you screen share, and then you can be seated here. PowerPoint slideshow. Here is it. And okay, there you go.
758.
All right, so since I'm the last presenters, so I will do it fast. Okay, so I'm Huicheng Liu, and thank you guys for being here. And today we're talking about the ESG improved cooperative for risk and evidence from Taiwan state-owned enterprises. So let's begin.
Oh, that work?
So I should press the.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
no problem. Okay, so here's a quick overview. So I'll start with the motivation, then go through the research, data, method results, and finally conclusion. Okay, so in this study, we look at how environmental policies affect the forward risk and how different ESG factors impact companies. So we focus on Taiwan state-owned enterprises, and we're particularly interested in how ESG scores influence SOEs in different sectors, especially comparing manufacturing and non-manufacturing industry. So now, as you guys maybe know, ESG, which stands for environmental, social, and governance, it's become a major concept back in 2004 when the US Global Compact first emphasizes importance in corporate management. Okay. In Taiwan, ESG has gradually turned into the formal part of the national policies. It started back in 2016 when the government launched the Taiwan Sustainable Development Goals and began including ESG in national strategies, especially for listed companies. And after that, the Financial Supervisory Commissions introduced ESG reporting requirement for public companies. Finally, then in 2022, then they released the Sustainable Development Roadmap, so which says all these firms must complete the greenhouse gas inventory by 2027 and get a third-party verification by 2029. Overall, the ESG-related rules and financial products have become more common and generally well received in the market. Okay. As the ESG become a regulatory requirement, companies face new challenges, particularly in allocating funds and resources to meet compliance. We also notice that ESG policies can vary widely across industries, which raised several key questions. For example, how do these requirements differ from one company to another? And what motivates companies to adopt the ESG practice? And most importantly, what are the benefits and costs of trying to achieve higher ESG scores? These questions are essential because pursuing a high ESG rating can also impact the company's default risk. Okay. So now let me quickly mention the two related studies. So the first one by Zhu and others look at the Chinese state-owned companies. And by 2011, there are 76 out of 117 of them were already published in the CSR report. So even back then, ESG was becoming a thing in the public sectors. And the next studies by Son and colleagues found that companies perform better when the governance own more shares. But it's not that simple. Selling some shares to private owners can help probably because it gives them more motivation to improve. But selling too much shares can hurt performance as the company may lose the advantage of being state-owned. So this part of the study focused on state-owned enterprises in Taiwan, and this company covers many essential sectors, including, as you can see, there's public transport, utilities, major banks, and raw materials. Because of their roles in society, their decisions are often guided not just by business goals, but also by government policies. So when these companies try to improve their ESG scores, it might affect their day-to-day performance and even their risk of default. So now you can see in this study, we think that ESG might affect default risk, not just through financial performance, but also through others, not financial factors. So based on that, we came up with three main hypotheses. The first one is about non-manufacturing SOEs. We expect that if these companies implement ESG policies, their default risk will go down. And the second one, we look at the manufacturing SOEs. Here we think that improving ESG sectors should also help reduce their risk. But the last one, the third hypothesis, we focus just on the environmental scores, and in this time we expect a slightly different result. In this case, we think that pushing too hard on environmental improvement might actually increase default risk, maybe because it puts pressures on the company's finances. And I'll go quick. This table shows all the variable we use in our study. Our main outcome is
Sorry for interruption. You have 3 more minutes, so please conclude it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go through quickly. So the main outcome is Z scores, And the key predictors are the ESG scores, and including the overall TESG scores and the individual E and S and G scores. So we also control the for all the ESG related factors like energy use, emissions, labor safety, and ownership structures, just to make sure that result on biases. Okay. So this model, we use OLS regressions to test whether ESG performance impact the default risk of Taiwanese state-owned enterprises. So I think I will go quick. So the dependent variable is z-score, Altman z-scores, and the main independent variable is the TSG, and control variable is FM, and from year and ESG subscores as control variable to ensure the roughness. Okay. Maybe this page is it's boring, but yeah, okay. I'll go through, but yeah, I just show on that. I think you guys will understand what is that boring things. Okay, so okay. So here in this table, we highlight the key average scores. The TSG score is about 66, and its components E and S and Gs are all around 68 to 71. All right. So here you guys must be know that is a Pearson correlation. We choose this just because we're test later on meaningful, and so yeah, let's move forward. Okay, so here in this table, we present the regression result for non-manufacturing and manufacturing SOAs separately. So we can see that column 2 and column 4 including the year fixed effects and make them more reliable. So we can see in both sectors, high ESG scores go with higher E scores. So they suggest that high ESG performance is linked to lower default risk even after controlling for year effect. Okay, and this one, let me summarize it. So this shows that when we split by industry, the E score is the only sub-scores that okay, so the E score is environmental. Okay, and it's a bit stronger in non-manufacturing, but the difference is small and it probably doesn't change the company default risk much. Okay, and in this table, we found that environmental performance is significant but not negative. So it shows high scores linked to the higher default risk. And this results show that TSG score works differently by industry. For non-manufacturing SOEs, high scores are linked to lower default risk, but the manufacturing SOEs shows that high scores are linked to higher risk. Like it's maybe because of heavier compliance cost. So we can see that for E-scores, the relationship is significant in both sectors, but the effect is negative. And higher environmental sectors are associated with higher default risk, mainly this due to the higher cost or limited short-term reinvent gains. So, okay, the conclusion for the SOEs, the TSG score doesn't show much at the start, but after we control from firm and time effect, it becomes positively related. So over time, ESG's effort to help to reduce the risk, and the E scores works the other way. Higher scores are linked to the higher default risk. We think is because the green projects cost a lot and don't pay for quickly. So when it comes to the S and G scores, their effect is pretty limited. So that could be because the state-owned companies are already under strict government rules. So here the bottom line. Environmental efforts are costly and the income gains are limited. So that's why we see the slight negative effect on default risk when firms try to improve their E-score. And among all the TESG components, only E-score shows a significant effect. and is not always positive. So overall, not all ESG scores are equally helpful. It really depends on which scores you're improving and the context of the company. So thank you, Mom. Thank you so much for listening. And if you guys have any questions, please don't be hesitant to contact by the email. And I think we can discuss it online or something. Thank you so much.
If you guys have no questions, the ID is served outside. Maybe you can grab some coffee. And meanwhile, we can continue with the online presentation. So, really at your convenience, okay? Maybe you can grab a small break. And yeah, we will try to conclude the presentations, let's say before 12, so you can have your lunch. Thank you. Professor Shakir, I think maybe we can continue with the rest of the presentations and let
Yeah,
the
so
authors to have yes.
we will continue with the online presentations in the online
Yes.
session. The in-person session is completed. Now we are coming toward the online session, and the first paper ID is 161. The paper title is Psychological Jurisprudence: Foundation to Conflict Resolution Strategy, to be presented by S. Surya. Are you available?
Can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yes, please share your screen and go ahead. You have 7 to 8 minutes to complete your PPT. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm a sick.
Yeah. Is the device
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all respected scholars, professionals, and esteemed participants. I am Surya Sitaraman from Savita School of Law, and I am honored to present our work titled Psychological Jurisprudence: Foundation to Conflict Resolution Strategy. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction in families, workplaces, and especially in complex multicultural organizations. However, the legal tools we often rely on, arbitration, mediation, litigation, tend to focus on procedures, contracts, verdicts, while completely overlooking the human mind. Our research asks a critical question: what if legal conflict resolution began with understanding the psychology of the people involved? The problem with traditional conflict resolutions are they are time consuming, some cases span years, financially draining, litigation involves heavy legal fees and loss, productivity, detached from human emotion. Courts often ignore the emotional traumas and psychological drivers behind the disputes. In the essence, the root causes of the conflicts, emotions, biases, power struggles, and fear are often acknowledged in the current legal machinery. So, our study embraces the idea that human beings are emotional by nature. These emotions, sadness, anger, insecurity, or shame, are often the true fuel behind most workplace and organized conflicts. When emotions are dismissed or suppressed, conflicts escalate. This is why traditional methods often fail to offer true closure. We categorize the psychological dimensions of the conflicts in different layers. That includes the emotional responses, that is anger, grief, and stress, behavioral patterns, that includes resistance, power plays, social pressure, peer influence, groupism, cultural misunderstanding, self-perception barriers, fear, guilt, and low confidence. Let's compare the judiciary as well as human-centered methods, where the traditional judiciary methods emphasize legal entitlement, party autonomy, and rigid procedures, but are slow and detached from reality. In contrast, human-centered approaches rely on emotional intelligence, psychological mediation, and early intervention, focusing on cooperation, understanding, and empathy. In our model, conflict outcomes also depend on behavioral alignment. That includes avoidance behavior, involve withdrawal, resentment, and silence, which delay conflict resolution. Cooperation behaviors involve emotional expression, listening, mutual respect, with actively promoting resolution. We analyze power dynamics through two lenses: positive power, guided by emotional intelligence, ethical leadership, and inclusion, and the negative power, characterized by dominance, fear, resentment, which worsen workplace conflicts. Emotional intelligence in leadership is critical to creating a culture of respect, safety, and problem solving. Our proposed strategy includes two main models. That includes draft model for conflict resolution that allows organizations to stimulate possible conflict outcomes based on human behavior patterns. It incorporates stability, analysis, and decision making in adaptive and realistic environment. The other model includes CETA framework, that is the legal psychological tool for decoding the emotional root of the conflict. It addresses emotional dimensions, considers general psychology, and balances legal rules with human centered values. Our framework also differentiates between positive cognitive approaches that includes collaboration, self-awareness, emotional maturity, and negative approaches that includes fear, dominance, and silence aggression. Understanding these helps organizations shift from reaction to reflection, leading to sustainable peace. Some of the major implementation for psychological jurisprudence that can full concentrate on the future resolution of conflicts may include an appoint in-house psychological mediator that are trained professionals who combine legal and emotional intelligence, develop psychological legal committees to identify, prevent, and resolve internal conflicts, adopt a CETA framework as a standard operating model for corporate and HR legal strategy, foster a cultural shift from control-based management to empathy-based leadership. On concluding terms, I would suggest that to resolve conflict is not just to apply the law, it is to understand the human emotions behind the law. Psychological jurisprudence offers a much needed bridge between legal correctness and emotional insight, between corporate efficiency and human dignity. By bridging psychology into jurisprudence, we believe conflict resolution can become faster, fairer, and fundamentally more humane. Thank you for your time. I welcome your questions and collaboration towards building psychologically intelligent legal system.
Thank you so much for sharing your research findings. And if there is any question regarding this presentation, please come forward and ask a question, or if you have any suggestion. Any question from online participants?
No questions. Interesting presentation. So, do we have the next presentation?
Yeah, the next paper is by the same presenter. Am I right? 162.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so
Okay.
please go ahead.
The title
Kindly
of the
proceed.
paper.
Maybe Professor Surya have a long day today.
So the title of the paper, second paper is
the second paper is the paper ID the 162. Neurogenetic and cognitive personality traits in legal psychology, a genome-based framework for women-centered HR policy and workplace health. Can you please share your screen?
yes, sir. Can you see my screen? Screen? Can
Yes,
you see my screen?
please go ahead.
Good morning to all aspirant attendees, faculties, researchers, and scholars. I am Surya Sitaraman from Savita School of Law, and I am honored to present our interdisciplinary research titled Neurogenetic and Cognitive Personality Traits in Legal Psychology, a genome-based framework for women-centric HR workplace health. In today's HR system, most decisions are made using metrics such as performance reviews, behavior tracking, and feedback loops. However, there is an invisible, unregulated factor that profoundly shapes human conflict, our neural genetics. Our research introduces a genome based legal framework that integrates neurogenetics, legal psychology, and HR policies, particularly focusing on women cognitive well being and workplace safety. Some of the major elements that we need to consider in neurogenetics in HR and why we have to do that. Every human being operates with a unique genetic architecture. Traits like emotional stability, decision making, empathy, and even conflict resolution have deep genetic roots. These traits influence workplace behavior, leadership styles, mental health, and performance. However, current corporate structures have no neuroethical policies safeguards to address these genetic privacy, neurodiscrimination, or cognitive trauma, especially among women and marginalized groups. So, what are all the ethical and legal gaps that we have found in the literature review? To explain in short, there is a disconnect between HR policies and neuropsychological realities. Current legal protections overlook DNA level influences on emotional and ethical behavior. Cognitive theft and mental trauma due to environmental triggers remain unrecognized in legal framework. Thus, our research proposes a human legal psychological framework defined as human genetics plus neural behavior plus personality traits and integrated with legal quotient, emotional intelligence, and intellectual quotient. So, some of the research objectives, methodology that we are going to adopt in this research are our approach combined doctrinal analysis with empirical and psychometric models. We study the legal impact of environmental trauma, analyzed cognitive response to workplace stress, and applied tools such as personality trait mapping that includes Big Five and genome interaction, forensic psychology data, natural neural behavior, profiling through structured interviews. The outcome was to design a genome-based framework to enhance employee privacy, motivation, and cognitive safety. So, in order to explain about our formula that relates to our research, that includes human genetics plus neural behavior plus personality traits that needs to be integrated with legal quotient plus emotional intelligence and intellectual quotient. One of the main research key objectives is to support the mental health of the employees, especially women, through genome-based legal model. To adopt chief legal psychology officers in companies to proactively resolve conflicts, to integrate neuroscience and forensic psychology into an ethical workplace guidelines, to strengthen frameworks like CITEHA by including neurogenetic and cognitive personality traits data. So, to concentrate more on the financial or the aim of the conceptual framework that we are going to concentrate in this genome framework is that whether neurocognitive and emotional behavior guidelines significantly improve workplace mental health, whether neurogenetic advocacy positively impact employee well-being, whether AI-based neurogenetic and forensic integration improves employee wellness, whether women's neuro disorder require targeted safety and ethics policies, whether HRM and neurogenetic predictions improve this CITEHA framework for mental health. So, the proposed conclusion on the innovation includes appointment of chief legal officer, psychological officer in every corporate structure, someone with dual expertise in law and psychology to resolve misunderstanding and behavioral conflicts which are occurring very early. Psychogenetic profiling need to be done, which has still not implemented in current legal system in the developing countries, for not for discrimination but for enhancing ethical onboarding, team placement and support mechanism, and confidentiality measures using neurogenetic data must come with consistent based access, strong digital safeguards and legal enforceability, and women-centric HR guidelines, implementing Taruma, informed and cognition-aware policies tailored for psychological safety. On concluding terms, I would suggest that, or the research suggests that neurocognitive science is not meant to stigmatize or stereotype. On the contrary, when combined with law and ethics, it provides a powerful lens to promote inclusion, understanding, and resilience in workplace cultures. As the global economy becomes more personalized and AI generated, we must build HR and legal systems that see people not just as a professionals but as a cognitive beings shaped by biology, experience, and environment. We envision a future where law, psychology, and neuroscience work together not in silos but in synchronization to build workplaces that heal, empower, and protect. Thank you for your time. I welcome questions or collaboration that can help turn this vision into practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research findings. If there are any question from online as well as in-person participant, please come forward to ask a question or if you have any suggestion. Okay, if no, then we will move forward to the next presentation by the same presenter. Paper ID is 163, Adaptation of Artificial Intelligence in the Endurance of International Finance. 163.
Shall I start my presentation, sir? Shall I start my presentation, sir? Excuse me.
Yeah. It's visible. Please go ahead.
Good morning to everyone. I am Surya Sitaraman from SP Jain School of Global Management. I am honored to be here today to share insights from our recent research title and adaptation of artificial intelligence in the efficiency of international finance. As we all know, artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept. It's here reshaping the global financial system, from platforms like PhonePe, Google Pay, and Paytime to complex algorithmic trading systems. AI is embedded in our everyday financial operations, but with this great technological promise comes significant peril. While AI boosts efficiency, streamlines financial workflows, and enhances user convenience, it also brings within issues of data privacy, ethical uncertainty, and regulatory confusion. The line between innovation and intuition is thin, and that is what our study seeks to address. We structured our research around 5 core dimensions that influence the implementation and success of AI in international finance. First, regulation. Are our legal frameworks sufficient and future ready? Second, ethical management. Can we ensure transparency, fairness, and moral responsibility in AI driven system? Third, systematic risk, where all the vulnerabilities AI brings to financial stability and cyber security. Fourth, human psychology. How do users perceive and emotionally respond to AI in financial context? And fifth, IT infrastructure. Are current system robust and scalable enough to support safe AI deployments? To investigate these, we employed a mixed method research proposal that could help in designing our entire research framework methodology. That includes the qualitative analysis of 42 real world case studies, a pilot survey with around 23 questions has been decided and distributed across professional networks, and the quantitative analysis based on 49 valid responses from professionals in IT, finance, audit, and services. We applied structural equation modeling to validate the relationship between these variables and the impact on AI efficiency. So our respondent demographics profile revealed a rich variety of experience. Nearly 35% had over 15 years of professional exposure, which helped ground our study in practical reality. Notably, respondents came from IT, manufacturing, financial, and service sector, giving us cross-disciplinary perspectives. Let me now explain about the core research questions. Do regulations still hold value in evolving AI landscape? Can ethical AI system enhance trust and efficiency? What role does systematic risk play in limiting or enabling AI? How significant is human psychology in AI adoption? And finally, Can our existing IT infrastructure cope up with growing AI demands? Each of these questions translated into corresponding objective and hypotheses, all which were statistically tested. The findings were enlightening. Human psychology emerged as the most significant influencer with a path coefficient of 0.923 value. This shows how trust, fear, and user behavior directly impact AI acceptance. Systematic risk followed, closely emphasizing the need for cybersecurity and robust cyber laws. Ethical management also showed strong influence, suggesting the system serving as fair and transparent gain users stress. Regulation, while important, had a relatively moderate effect, indicating a gap between policy and technology type. Based on these insights, we proposed the SETE framework, which stands for Safety, Ethics, Tranquility, Efficiency, and Humanity. This framework offers a balanced approach to integrating AI into finance by encouraging it to legal compliance, ethical design, user trust, and robust infrastructure. It promotes a future where AI does not replace human intelligence but enhances it responsibly. In conclusion, AI is transforming international finance, but its success depends not only on innovation but also on regulation, ethics, psychological awareness, and system preparedness. As researchers and policymakers, our role is to bridge the gap between technology and trust. Future research should focus on adopting SETE model across different legal, cultural, and economical contexts to ensure inclusive and secure financial system. Thank you very much for your attention. I welcome any questions or collaboration that can further refine our shared pursuit of ethical, secure, and efficient AI in finance. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research findings. Again, I'm inviting the online and in-person participants if they have any questions or suggestions for this presentation.
Excellent presentation. No questions from the participants in the room face to face. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So the last presentation, the last from the same presenter is 183, and neural-centric regulatory concerns in national and multinational companies in Chennai, a genome law and efficiency. Please share your screen if you want to present this one as well.
Yes, sir. I'll just share just a minute. I'm just opening the document. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Good morning to all esteemed participants, researchers, and the organizers. I am Surya Sitaraman from Savita School of Law, Seamans, Chennai. It is an honor to present our work on the emerging and sensitive domain, neurogenetic regulatory concerns in Indian multinational companies, where science, psychology, and law intersect to shape the future of corporate governance. In today's corporate ecosystem, we have policies that address skill sets, behavioral benchmarks, and workplace conduct, yet there is a regulatory void when it comes to neurogenetic factors, elements that fundamentally influence how people make decisions, handle stress, or even respond ethically in workplace. Our research critically highlights that while India has legislations like the Mental Health Care Act and DNA Technology Bill, they do not extend to neurogenetic profiling or neural privacy, especially in HR, forensic, or mental health context. This absence has led to a landscape where neurocognitive vulnerabilities remain unprotected and unregulated, leading to data misuse, profiling without consent, and legal uncertainty, especially when such information is used in hiring or disciplinary actions. To understand neuropsychogenetics, what is neuropsychogenetics? It is the fusion of neuroscience and behavioral psychology. It explains how genetic makers affect brain activity, emotional processing, decision making, and interpersonal behavior. In this context, we examine 5 major neurogenetic makers, that is, MAOAL associated with aggression and impulsivity, the RD4, the RD2 linked to addictive behaviors, COMT governs stress responses, BDNF manages neuroplasticity, NR3C1 influence chronic stress regulation. These makers are scientifically studied for their role in behavioral and emotional traits and have a direct impact on decision making and workplace performance. So, what are the research goals and the methods adopted in our study? That includes access how neural screening can reduce legal risk, support genetic inclusivity in workplaces, and apply neuroscience to optimize HR decisions. We used a mixed method approach. Method approach combining expert interviews, psychometric tools, and biological methods like qPCR and RNA sequencing for behavioral gene profiling. Some of the key questions that have been included here are: can genes predict workplace behavior? Can neuro assessment improve conflict resolution? Can we design better wellness programs based on neurocognitive data? So, the global regulatory comparison is very much needed thought, where we have compared our current neural system or neurogenetic system into international base, where the US has Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act and the Cures Act, both offering legal protection for individual against genetic discrimination. The European Union goes further with advanced protections for neural data and cognitive privacy. India, by contrast, has no detailed policy for neurogenetic screening in HR or corporate governance, leaving us vulnerable to ethical dilemmas and legal gaps. So, some of the major applications while implementing these regulations of neurogenetics are: the integration of neurogenetic insights into corporate system opens up powerful possibilities. That includes HR policies branch where enable wellness driven recruitment strategies tailored to neuro-emotional fitness, forensics, assist in ethical criminal behavior, assessments and rehabilitation planning, mental health, enable clearly direction of neurocognitive stress disorders, legal reform, bring in data-driven lawmaking based on behavioral and neurogenetic evidence, productivity, enhance employee fitment, resilience and team working using cognitive profiling. Some of the future recommendations using CITEHA framework that includes are: to bridge these gaps, we propose the framework which stands for safety, emotional regulation, ethics, tranquility, humanity, efficiency and accountability. Our core recommendation includes implementing this framework, which are used by or can be used for training for HR teams to identify emotional vulnerabilities ethically, mandating psychogenetic screening with strict data protection, safeguards and voluntary consent, appointing neuro-legal officers to mediate between science and law within corporate structures, developing national neurogenetic policies, models to address workplace privacy, genetic rights and decision-making ethics. On concluding notations, neurogenetics is not a futurist threat. It is present necessity. Without regulation, we risk bioethical violations, psychological harm, and legal ambiguity. As India and the global community move forward in workplace innovations, it's time to embed scientific wisdom into our legal systems, safeguard human dignity, and build a framework where neurogenetic understanding enhances rather than threatens workplace harmony. Thank you for your attention. I welcome your questions and look forward to discussion on how we can shape neuro-legal frameworks that are both ethically sound and legally resilient. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research finding. And again, if there is any question from online and in-person participants, please come forward to ask your question, or if you have suggestion or any general comments.
No questions from here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. And I think we need to move to the next presenter. And the paper ID is 177, and analysis of development and innovation of Samarang virtual assistant service communication 5.0. 177, are you available? One seven seven. I don't see it on the screen. This presenter. Okay, it's not available. So we need to move to the next presenter. That is 179. The transformation of student leader among empowered secondary schools in the division of Augustan del Norte,
Good
Northeastern
morning.
Philippines. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Please share your
morning.
screen and go ahead.
Good morning once again. Is my slides in full screen? Again, good morning.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Good
Please.
morning. Please continue.
Okay.
Make sure that we have 10 minutes of window to complete. Thank you.
Good morning, greetings to the people who are on site and also in the online platform. My research is entitled The Transformation of Student Leaders Among Empowered Secondary Schools and Division of Agusan del Norte, Northeastern Mindanao, Philippines. I am the first author and I have a co-author. I am Roslyn Doliente, by the way. I licensed professional teacher and for a while, let me share again. I am a licensed professional teacher and currently I am a college instructor at Caraga State University, Cabadbaran campus. My co-author is Dr. Delio Pasion, holds PhD in management and currently a school principal of Butuan City Division, still in the Philippines. This quantitative study investigated the impact of engaging in student leadership on the transformational leadership capability of secondary student leaders within empowered schools in the division of Agusan del Norte, Northeastern, uh, Mindanao, Philippines. Utilizing a purposive sampling, 87 officers from the Supreme Student Government and President Circle were surveyed. By the way, the Supreme Student Government is the highest student body organization in the Philippines. And then the President Circle refers to the organization headed by the President of the Supreme Student Government. The main purpose of this circle serves as the consultative mechanism for planning and implementation of the various programs and projects of all the synchronized students' activities on the campus. In the Philippines, the Philippine Basic Education Curriculum actively fosters student leadership development. History of this student leadership development is rooted by the issuance of Department Order 2, Series of 1998, or the establishment of the Center for Students and Co-Curricular Affairs. After 7 years of this establishment, the Center for Students and Co-Curricular Affairs Youth Formation got its new phase with the issuance of Department Order number 52. This new organizational structure of the Central, Region, and Schools Division Offices of the Department of Education. Um, with this new structure, the Department of Education, the Youth Formation Division is also institutionalized. Part of its mandate and scope is the Supreme Pupils Government for the elementary and Supreme Student Government for the secondary. Okay. And then afterwards, DepEd's commitment for nurturing the youth, they adopted DepDO 24 series of 2222. This is a basic education plan for 2030, which was written by the Department of Education in the Philippines with UNICEF. This is a technical assistant which they aim for student empowerment. The research gap for this is, despite the influx of national policies and localized initiatives, the implementation of student governance within the division of Agusan del Norte in the Philippines encounters significant challenges. Notably, there is inconsistency of the enforcement of the youth formation related policies alongside other pertinent DepEd issuances. Student-initiated program proposals still face marginalizations. Consequently, activities are often planned and executed from predominantly administrative perspective rather than adopting a truly student-centered approach. In many instances, student governance structures exist in a largely symbolic extension of the school administration only, hindering genuine student holistic development. Because of this gap, empirically, this study determined the perspective, value, and desirability of the student leadership roles and assess the level of transformation in their personal, interpersonal, and community-oriented transformation that occur as a direct result of active participation in student governance. This study also explored the potential design and implementation of the targeted intervention programs aimed at enhancing the capacity of the student leaders to maximize their leadership potential. The problem statement for this research are the following. What is the level of transformation of the student leaders among empowered secondary schools in a division of Agusan del Norte, Northeastern Mindanao, Philippines in terms of personnel, people and community? Is there a significant difference between the level of transformation of the student leaders according to sex? Based on the results of the study, what intervention programs may be proposed to the student leaders to enhance the level of transformation? The methodology of this study adapted descriptive research designed to comprehensively portray the transformative experiences of the student leaders. This methodological approach was deemed appropriate since the primary research objective is to systematically describe and analyze the nature and extent of changes reported by the student leaders across key developmental domains because of their engagement in student governance. The participants for this are 87 student leaders, 45 officers from the Supreme Student Government, and 42 officers from the President's Circle, for a total of 87 student leaders. The student research instrument for this study was a modified National Leadership Survey questionnaire developed by Western Sydney University. We also got the authority to conduct the research using this questionnaire. And then the questionnaire is composed of four parts. Part one is the demographic profile of the respondents. Part two is the leadership role of the tenure of the respondents. Part three are the perceived transformation in terms of personal development, interpersonal relationship of the student leaders towards other people, and their perceived transformation in making an impact on the community after joining the student organizations. And, the, and then part four is the open-ended feedback, which collect data in an option open-ended section to provide participants with the opportunity to elaborate on their experiences and offer qualitative insights into their leadership transformation. The results are the following. For the level of transformation, the mean is 2.66, the overall mean. The overall mean of 2.66 suggests a high level of personal transformation among student leaders, indicating that involvement in student body organization generally has a positive impact on their personal development. The highest mean score of 2.87 observed for the variable of sense of belongingness and self-worth highlights this as a particularly strong psychological benefit experienced by the student leaders. Conversely, the lowest mean score of 2.43 associated with perseverance when things are not working out as it is anticipated suggests that this aspect of personal development may be less influenced or perhaps more challenging to develop through participation in student body organization. For level of transformation of student leaders with their interpersonal skills to other people, uh, there's the overall mean is 2.63, suggests a high level of transformation in student leaders' interpersonal relationships because of their participation in student body organizations. This indicates that student leaders generally develop into team lead players with positive attitude towards others.
Sorry for
The high,
interruption. 3 more minutes. Thank you.
yes. For the level of transformation of student leaders to the community, the overall mean is 2.31, reveals that there is only a moderate contribution to the community transformation of the student leaders. Significant difference based on their sex. The t-test results indicate no statistically significant difference in the level of transformation experienced by the student leaders when grouped by sex. They suggest that sex is not a determining factor in transformative impact of the student body organization participation. Intervention programs, the study reveals high levels of transformation in personal development and interpersonal relationships among student leaders. Moderate level of community contribution transformation suggests a need for targeted intervention programs. These programs should focus on enhancing opportunities for student leaders to engage in community-focused activities and develop their skills. The data reveals a significant positive transformation across personal and interpersonal domains. The study findings support with Nelson's study that he observed that leadership experiences gained in student setting frequently translate into future workplace leadership roles. The data also support the study of Franklin that asserts for the importance of autonomy and valuable learning derived from both successes and failures. The overall positive personal transformation observed directly supports also the claim by the Pacific Policy Research Center that the student leadership experience is a significant catalyst for personal growth and development in young individuals. The study findings also supports the research of Oni and Auditoro, who established a clear link between established student involvement in decision-making process and enhancement leadership effectiveness alongside improved interpersonal skills. Findings also aligns with another study of Indong Yu and Cosera regarding the influential role of student council leadership in guiding up and shaping the behavior of their peers. The inherent nature of student body organizations requiring collaborative governance, active socialization, and effective public relations demonstrably fosters harmony and camaraderie among student leaders. The data strongly suggests that student body organizations serve as a valuable platform for cultivating the positive peer relationship, honing crucial communication skills, and developing the capacity for effective interpersonal relationships or skills, essential for both academic and future professional successes. For the moderate level of transformation observed in the domain of community contribution suggests that while student body organizations provide opportunity for networking and engagement, their effectiveness in fostering a deep and sustained commitment to community involvement and nation building requires further attention. The data indicates that while student body organizations may encourage outpacing activities, they are only moderately successful in fully realizing the vision and articulated by the late Philippine Senator Miriam Defensor Sanchad. The statistical non-significant difference in the transformation between male and female leaders revealed by t-test results strongly supports the findings
Can
of
you please go to the
Austrian.
conclusion? Thank you.
Yes. To conclude, student leaders engaged in student body organizations demonstrate a noteworthy level of positive transformation, particularly exhibiting substantial growth in critical domains of personal development. The study provides evidence that there is no statistically significant relationship between student leader sex and the overall level of transformation they experience through their participation in student governance. And the positive transformation of student leaders in the empowered secondary schools in the division of Agusan del Norte is evident. Thank you. And thank you for listening. Any question?
Thank you so much for sharing
Any
your
questions?
research
No
findings.
questions, right?
Yeah, so if any question from online participant?
No questions. Do you have? No. Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much. We can move on to the next participant.
Next participant is 179 180.
Good
Yeah,
morning, am I
180.
audible?
180
180.
France. Yes.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please share
Very good
your
morning.
screen.
Okay. Let me just share my screen for a while. Is the screen available to you already?
Yeah, it's coming. Maybe you can just move on the slide. It will show up.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, good morning and a liberating day to everyone. I'm Franz Evan Orcajada, a graduate of BA Applied Psychology from the University of the Philippines. Today, I'll be presenting our undergraduate thesis I co-authored with Ryan Alexandra Santos, titled Child at Home, Activist on the Roam, Parents' Perspectives on Their Activist Child's Involvement in the National Democratic Political Movement in Luzon. The research focuses on a very human question. What happens when the personal meets the political? When a child becomes an activist and a parent is left wondering what that means for their bond, their dreams, and their home. The thesis was written by the authors as an undergraduate thesis in Filipino psychology or Psikologiyang Filipino, and the Philippine context is a culturally rooted discipline of psychology that draws from the Filipino worldview, experience, and language, offering an indigenous alternative to Western psychological models. Together, we embark on this research not just as scholars but as children of society, where activism is often tagged as red tag, yet remains essential. We ask, how do parents make sense of their child's political awakening in a country where activism is both stigmatized and necessary for social change? To better understand the context of our study, it's important to clarify several key terms for us to get familiarized along our research. So, such as activism, advocacy, and action for societal change, including protest petitions and awareness campaigns to promote rights. Next is National Democratic or ND, a political Philippine movement aiming for people's democracy by addressing imperialism, feudalism, and bureaucrat capitalism. Next is National Democratic Mass Organization, sectoral groups in the Philippines aligned with national democratic principles. Next is mass mobilizations, organizing large groups for political or social actions like rallies and campaigns. Next is political ideology, a set of beliefs on how society should be structured, on how power should be used. Uh, the coined term kakamping also, a political identity of supporters of the late Philippine Vice President Leni Robredo in the 2022 Philippine presidential election. Left-leaning advocates for progressive reform, social equalities, and human rights. And lastly, mass work, grassroots engagement to promote ideologies, organize communities, and push for political goals. So to further expound, the Philippines is a country deeply rooted in familialism, a culture where family is considered the heart of one's identity, especially for Filipinos. However, as children grow and encounter political realities of society, some are drawn to activism. Our study explores the intersection. What do parents think and feel when their child becomes an activist under the National Democratic Movement? What emerges from this conflict between family-centered expectations and collective political convictions? So, we therefore ask for essential questions. What are the experiences of the parents of an activist child who is in the National Democratic Mass-Oriented Organization? Next, what are the parenting styles in raising their children and how it affects their relationship with their activist child? Third, how did the relationship dynamics between parents and their activist child evolve throughout the process of the child's transformation? And lastly, what is the ultimate aspiration of every parent for their activist children? In a society where many parents dream of a children who become professionals, how do they process children who choose to become revolutionaries? So to answer these questions, we relied on several theoretical frameworks such as the Filipino psychology concepts of pakikibaka or resistance in English. Next is kapwa or shared self or shared experiences with other people and as translated in English. And next is the parental expectations such as familism, social movement theory. Next is the parenting styles, specifically highlighting helicopter parenting and relationship dynamics. And lastly, social learning theory of Albert Bandura. Then for the conceptual framework, the study explored how activist children's concept of shared self shape their struggle. For them, not other person reflected seeing countrymen as family, giving rise to pakikibaka or struggle with, not only for personal rights but for their kapwa's welfare. In contrast, parents perceive kapwa or shared self into two ways. There is not other person and other person. When activism brought fear, violence, and threats to family aspirations, parents distanced themselves, seeing activist communities as not other person. Despite this tension, we integrated Albert Bandura's social learning theory, showed parents remained role models. Their own engagement of shared self influenced their children's activism. Parenting styles thus emerge from these experiences. Finally, the social movement theory underpinned resistance or pakikibaka as a collective action to defend human rights. The study analyzed how these intertwined concepts shape parent-child relationship dynamics and overall perspectives. So for the methodology, we used narrative inquiry and as well as thematic content analysis. Then, for the participants, we interviewed 12 parents from Luzon whose children were aged 15 to 30 years old as considered by the National Youth Commission as the classification of youth here in the Philippines. Next, active in a national democratic mass-oriented organization for at least 1 year. Then living openly and with parental awareness that their children is an activist, and it's currently the child is currently residing, and even the parents is currently residing in Luzon. Then for the data collection, we used purposive, convenient, and snowball sampling by integrating Google registration forms and even contacting them through Facebook Messenger. And for the data collection, we just used online interview for their safety and for their anonymity. So to see, we collated data from Region 3, NCR, National Capital Region, and Mimaropa regions. So for the key findings, our participants were diverse but shared a common role. They were parents of youth activists. They were aware that their child is an activist. So 9 were mothers and 3 were fathers. To dissect more, 9 were cisgender female, 2 were cisgender male, and 1 is a queer parent. Ages were ranged from 21 years old to 64 years old, and they came from Region 3, Mimaropa and National Capital Region, most identified as working class or lower middle class.
Sorry
Political
for interruption.
ideologies.
You hit 2 more minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Political ideologies varied. Mary leaned centrist to progressive. Notably, we saw more maternal involvement. As we have seen, we have 9 cisgender female mothers, particularly among single mothers and those raising LGBTQIA plus children, showing how caregiving and understanding activism are gendered experiences in the Filipino household. So for the parental expectations, there are two themes, which is internal success and external success. For the internal success, parents wanted their children to finish school, find work, and to achieve personal stability. On the other hand, for the external success, they want to serve the masses, contributing to the community and helping the family financially. And for the relationship dynamics, some relationships started positive but were tinged with anxiety. Some were initially negative but become stronger through empathy and open conversation. A few became strained with parents, feeling they no longer recognize their child, and lastly, others remained unchanged, um, grounded in mutual respect. Even among disagreements, the relationships were rarely severed. This highlights a uniquely Filipino coping mechanism, resilience through familial compromise. And as an example, one mother shared, "At first, I didn't understand, but now I'm proud. They stood by their beliefs." Then for the perception of the influence of a child's political ideology, uh, it fell into 3 types. No, the first one is the positive. Some grew more socially aware, even joining social and civic groups. For the negative side, some viewed activism as premature or dangerous. And for the neutral ones, others held firm beliefs but accepted their child's differences. Yet, all parents feared one thing: their child's primary safety due to red tagging, state harassment, and militarization. Despite ideological tensions, parents remain grounded in concern, asking, "Will my child come home safe?" And for the parenting styles, it was observed that it was more authoritative than authoritarian. Then we recorded 2 cases of helicopter parenting, especially those with trauma or past loss. They Due to that result, parents are already overprotective. And for the parental discipline, most of them integrated positive parenting, and we garnered two cases of corporal punishment. Some still use traditional discipline. And from the findings, we concluded parenting styles shape how parents react to activism, especially in a charged environment like the Philippines. Despite ideological divides, most families remained emotionally intact. Reactions range from rejection to gradual acceptance. And lastly, above all, education was the non-negotiable aspiration of every parent to their child. And for the recommendation and future work, for future studies, we were recommended to consider activism from across regions and use case studies approaches to give more space to individual narratives, examine traits like grit and growth mindset among activist youth, apply the Kapwa framework as inclined to the Filipino psychology, to understand family unity and political diversity here in the Philippines more, and study the impact of social class on parents' perception. And uh, to close, allow me to echo the words of the Filipino historian and nationalist historiographer Renato Constantino. If parents of today do not march with the youth, they will be left behind and deserve only the censure of history. In an intolerable society, the duty of revolutionary change belongs to all, young and old. So this is an offering to the parents and to the children of our Filipino people. And that would be all. Thank you so much. If you have questions, you may just message us or even state your message here. Thank you so much.
Any questions? No? Okay.
Okay.
No questions
Any
from here?
question from online participant? Okay, if no question, we will move to the next presenter, and the next presenter is
Kindly make a note on the presentation time because it's important.
yeah,
We
we
also
have
have
just three last presenters,
the
or maybe
the
two.
the meeting room is booked only until 12, so we need to conclude before this.
Yeah, sure. 189, paper ID 189.
Yeah, hello, sir.
189.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, loud
please
and clear.
share your screen.
Okay, wait a minute, yeah. Good morning, everybody. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nicodemus Narendra Bagaskara, and with my lecturer, Muhammad Riza Sujipto, together we wrote a thesis about the strategic business model innovation for Era Jaya Swasembada. Okay, first of all, introduction. Let me tell you a brief about Era Jaya and the thesis. The first one is the company overview. Era Jaya is Indonesia's largest distribution and retailer of mobile device with over 200 retail stores and 50,000 partner outlets. The key challenge of this thesis is experience a sales decline. So Era Jaya experienced a decline in sales in 2023 alongside digital disruption and new competitor and shifting customer behavior in the retail industry. The research approach using a combined SWOT analysis and the business model canvas or BMC to assess strategic alignment and identify improvement areas. The problem statement will be divided into three. The first one is what is Era Jaya current business model canvas like? The second is how is the SWOT analysis and the SWOT matrix applied to the 9 element of business model canvas? The third one is how can a strategy be formulated using the SWOT matrix to develop a more competitive business model for canvas for Era Jaya? Okay, the methodology that we use is qualitative descriptive with case study method. The data collection is semi-structured interview from both external and internal parties, from management Era Jaya, the staff, the external parties from the competitor, partners, and the customer. The secondary data is collected by company reports, industry analysis, research based on internal Era Jaya, and academic journal. We also use the triangulation used for data validation after we conduct the interview. The data analysis is we are using the SWOT analysis, identifying internal strengths and weaknesses, and the external opportunities and threat factor. The strategic formulation will be generate the strategic strength with opportunities and weakness opportunities, strength and threat, and weakness and threat strategies. After that, we are mapping the strategy into the nine business model canvas element. Here is the result. The Era Jaya is placing in the first quadrant of the SWOT quadrant. So Era Jaya have a strong opportunity to expand and leverage their strength. Here is the result of the business model canvas. We have a new additional both partners and value proposition, consumer segment, and key activities and opportunities. We are placing at the channels and key resource. Next, we are moving to discussion and interpretation. The strategic proposition is that Raja is in SWOT quadrant 1, so it's in favorable condition and requires aggressive strategy to leverage their strength and capture opportunities. The internal strength is they have a strong management, effective marketing, and they have a digital engagement. Well positioned to responding to rising digital trends among Gen Z and the middle economic class in Indonesia. The SWOT to BMC integration, the strength is applied to value proposition, customer segment, and key activities. The opportunities like AI and IoT is mapped to channels and key resource. The improvement strategies is enhance operational infrastructure and cost management and improve bundling service both online and offline store experience. The conclusion is SWOT plus BMC provides alignment between strategy and market needs. And Era Jaya need to focus on innovation, digital transformation, and customer centric ensure Era Jaya long-term growth. The conclusion is Era Jaya is a progressive and profitable business position. SWOT analysis shows strong internal strengths and external opportunities. And we have a recommended strategy is aggressive growth-oriented strategies. For the innovation and develop initiative, maybe Era Jaya can install LED screen for real-time in product info, expansion of digital channels and online shopping, enhance AI-powered customer service, and increase promotion via social media. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research finding. Is there any question from the
No question.
participant side?
Thank
Or
you.
if you have any comments, the
No
online
questions.
participants?
No questions. Thank you. I think maybe we can move to Arti.
Okay. Okay, so we have another presentation is 190. The influence of digital platforms on operational performance through service plus capabilities.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Yes.
Wait,
Please go ahead with your PPT.
okay, sir.
Kindly present. Share your screen.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see the presentation. Please proceed.
Okay. Good and thank you for attending this session. Today I will try to present my research entitled The Influence of Digital Platform on Operational Performance through Service Process Capabilities with Digital Culture as a moderation variable at BPJS Employment Branch Office. This study aims to explore how digital platform impact operational performance in public institutions, especially through process improvement and digital culture. Uh, Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Ardi Baharudin. I currently work as a financial officer at BPJS Ketenagakerjaan, an Indonesian public institution that manages worker social security. I'm also a master student in management at Telkom University, Bandung. My research interest is in digital platform, operational efficiency, and public financial management. This abstract summarize the objective methodology and main result of my study. This study examines how digital service platform affect operational performance at BPJS Ketenagakerjaan main branch office using same PLS and data from 122 brand heads. Results show that digital platform improve performance directly and indirectly through service process capabilities. However, digital culture does not significantly moderate this relationship, highlighting the need for stronger internal alignment. I will introduce the organization in this study, BPJS Ketenagakerjaan. It is a public institution in Indonesia that provides social security program for workers. In recent years, BPJS Ketenagakerjaan has been going through a digital transformation to improve its service. Some digital platform that have been developed include GMO, SIPP, and Lapak Asik. This platform help participant access service more easily. Currently, BPJS Ketenagakerjaan has a wide network of office, consists one head office in Jakarta, 11 regional office, 122 branch office, and 203 pioneer branch office covering all region across Indonesia. In this research, the focus is on the 122 branch office. This research is important because the governments agencies today are expecting to go digital. At BPJS Ketenagakerjaan, digital platform like GMO, SEIPP, and Lapak Asik were created to improve public service. So, however, the quality of service has not improved as expected. The clear gap between the used digital platform and the actual result in service delivery. Many brands still face problems such as slow services, limited system integration, and inconsistent use of this platform. In addition, only a few studies have looked at how effective this digital platform really are, especially when considering internal factor like service process capability and digital culture.
The study aims to fill the gap by analyzing how these three factors work together to influence operational performance in the public sector. Let me now explain the problem behind this research. First, we see customer satisfaction index at BPJS Ketenagakerjaan membranes from 2020 to 2024. The CSI score dropped from 95.8 to 91.7. This shows that service quality has been decreasing even though digital platform already used. Second, there's pressure on public institution like BPJS Ketenagakerjaan to provide foster more efficient and more accessible service. This pushes the organization to adopt and improve digital service. Third, even though platform like GMO, SIPP, and Lapak Asik have been launched, there is still a lack of evidence about how this platform help improve service process capability or performance. In many cases, their process are still inefficient or slow. Fourth, digital culture is often overlooked. Many digital program focus on the technology but forget that people and the working culture also play uh, a key role in whether those programs success or not. Lastly, there is an urgency to understand how digital platform process capabilities and culture all work together to influence operational performance. That's the main goal of this research. This study use a quantitative approach with causal explanatory design to analyze how the digital platform affect operational performance using the SIMPLS
Sorry
method.
for interruption. You have 2 more minutes, so please be conclusive. Thank you.
The result in my research, first digital platform directly improve operational performance. The more effectively they are used, the better the result. Second, service process capability has the strongest impact on performance with beta scores 0.470, showing that efficient internal process are key. Third, digital platform also improve service process capabilities. Fourth, there is a significant mediation effect, meaning that service process capability act as a bridge between digital platform and performance. Lastly, digital culture does not significantly moderate this relationship. It has little effect on improving the connection between technology and performance. Conclusion is my research, digital platform help boost performance, especially when support by strong internal process. However, digital culture still needs to be strongest to make a bigger impact.
Can you please go to the conclusion? Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your research findings. If any question, you can ask now from the online and offline participant as well, in-person participants.
No questions?
Okay, thank you. So we have one more. The paper ID is 768. Geometric triangulation were closest approach raised in ultra-wide angle stereo setups. Seven, six, eight. You want to present? 768. You want to present or you have sent the video PPT? We will upload it to our YouTube channel. 768.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry. I didn't hear your sound.
So can you please go ahead with your PPT?
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, can you see my screen, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, good morning, afternoon, everyone. Today I will present the paper that I make. The title is Geometric Triangulation Closed Approach Rays in Ultra Wide Angle Stereo Setup. My name is Hafiki Lauri, and I'm from Mingchi University of Technology, New Taipei, Taiwan, Republic of China. So this is the outline that I will introduce for all of you. The first is introduction. The second is motivation. The introduction and motivation. The second is the problem statement. The third is the methodology. The fourth is the list, result and evaluation. The fifth is conclusion and future work. So the introduction and motivation. So the triangulation is wide use computer vision for reconstruct the 3D point for a multiple two-dimension view. Most of the classical algorithms assumes the pinhole camera model, which work well in a narrow or small field of view lens. In the same time, ultra-wide angle and fisheye camera lens have become popular due to their ability to capture wide screen using the fewer camera, especially in application like autonomous driving, indoor mapping, and robotic. These lens introduce several distortion and break the linear projection assumption. That's why we need a new triangulation approach that can work directly with the non-linear geometry of their camera. From that introduction, we can get the problem statement. The first is the classical triangulation assume that linear projection and rectified image pair. This assumption fails for ultra-wide angle camera and fisheye camera due to the strong radial distortion, complex and non-linear projection curve, standard pre-processing technique, and like rectification, remap. We will get lost geometric fidelity and introduce the interpolation error, increase the computation complexity, and there's no lightweight geometric method that can directly handle the fisheye stereo step without heavy pre-processing model. And after that, we come to the our methodology when we process the image. So the first that when do the experiment, we use this camera specification and this condition. So we use this camera. That is SYUE WXSG camera with the field of view was 2220 degree. Use a CMOS sensor and the resolution was 2592 multiple by 1944, and the lens size is 1.12 millimeter, and this is use connection USB 2.0, and in the experiment we use two conditions. The first condition that we use a big box, so we this is two camera inside the box, so we use two camera of WXSG camera, and the distance was two camera was 6 centimeter, and the checkbox size was 11 multiple by 9 until 11 multiple by 11. So all of the text box corner is 99 until the 121 corner, and the text box size is the multiple 4 centimeter. And this condition 2 is the more smallest box. That is inside have a text box pattern was 5 multiple by 4 until 5 multiple by 5 square. So all of the text box corner is 20 until 25 corner, and the text box size is the 3 multiple 3 centimeter. So how we process the image, that the first that we take the original image from the fish eye image, and after that we change it into rectangular image based on the alpha and beta on every region. So in here that we have separate region, so we separate the region based on the rectangular image. And when we do it, we use NPPM model, that is non-panoramic projection model. This model was not different with like OpenCV or MATLAB model, because this model is originally made by Moyle Lab in Mingchi University. So this is originally from our lab. And after that, after we process it, so we detect all of the point, because from the fisheye model it have distortion. So we move the distortion based on rectilinear image. And after that, when it become the rectilinear image, we detect all of the point, and after that we remap it into the original one. So we just remap 2 times. So in the 1 times we change all of the direction based on alpha beta of the for all of the direction. After that we remap it again into the original image again. But in here we have all of the point of the textbook corner. And after that we give the number the point ID for all of the points. So with this point we can connect the 2 cameras. So every point have a same ID in the 2 cameras. So in the 2 camera have the same ID, so we can connect each other of the point. And after that we come to the ray-based triangulation, because we use a 2 camera, that is camera left and camera right. So all of it will take the fisheye image and detection like this. So every point will get point ID and point location of the 2-dimension image. And after that we change, because in the NPPM model we can change the 2-dimension location into alpha beta, and after that from alpha beta we change it into the 3D direction vector. Use this equation, and after that after we get the 3 direction, we do the triangulation perform using ray distance based using method least square triangulation, LST. And from left and right we use this equation. And after that we process again the 3D point estimate by X generate to finding the midpoint of the shortest line segmentation between the 2 arrays. And after that to evaluate the 3D point, we calculate the angle between the rays, and after that the minimum distance between the rays, and after that the angle between
Sorry for
every
interruption. You have
direction.
3 more minutes. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the flow chart of our experiment. And after that we come to the result and evaluation. So this is the first condition of our of the experiment. As you can see in the video that from the 2 image we can make it into the 3D location, and very have straight location like a box. So it's mean that from the 2 image we can make 3D that is very good. We didn't use a lot of image or a lot of camera, just use 2 image, and from 1 camera just 1 image and 1 image. And after that from it that we do reprojection again from the 3D condition, we do the projection again. That, as you can see in here, they have the purple and the blue one. The purple is the reprojection model, and in here that we get now that the projection error in here, like this is a very small, just 2 pixel, and after that the ray intersection is just 1.25 millimeter, and the center was the distance between the plane and the angle of the plane was very good, near with the 90 degree. And the second result is that we use the small box that, as you can see in here, that in the 3D location, we can make it very good, like really like a box in the all of the point. So it's mean that our method like working really well with just 2 image. No need a lot of image. Just 2 image from 2 cameras. So from it that we can make a very good 3D location from it. And from it that we know that all of the projection that just around 3 pixel and 2 pixel in every image. And after that, the angle from all of the 3 dimension, like you can see that mean absolute error from it that just 0.73 degrees. So it's very perfect, and because under 1 degree the error. So it means that the presentation of the 3D model was very good. So after that, we come to the conclusion and the future work. The conclusion is the purpose of the system utilize angular projection alpha and beta. Using any point-based rectilinear mapping, successful perform state 3D reconstruction with the ultra-wide angle stereo image. And the 3D ray-based triangulation it demonstrate the reliable perform that despite several fisheye distortion. And so because it's successful for all of the experiment that we do. And after that, in here that we know that the future what we'll do, the extend the current method that dense 3D reconstruction, not limited just in the checkbox. And after that, expand the multiple view and adjust the dynamic condition of the experimental work. Okay, I think that's all of my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your research. And
No
if there
questions
are
from the
questions-
participants. No questions from the meeting room participants. Thank you.
Okay, I'm asking the
okay.
online participant if they have any question, or if no question, okay, we will move to the
I
next.
have some question. Do my presentation was recorded, or do you screenshot it or something?
Your presentation is recorded in the YouTube channel. Later, I will share the link. You can see it there. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. So the next presenter, the remaining presentation, that was from Miss Surya. Can you come to present your remaining one presentation, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all distinguished delegates, organizers and fellow researchers. I am Surya Sitaraman from Seneca School of Law, and it's an honor to present a collaborative work titled Antecedents of Dharmashastras on Psychology, defining the efficiency of administration in human resource management workforce culture in global companies. This research is born from a deeply relevant global challenge. How do we manage multicultural workforces effectively and ethically while maintaining the productivity and harmony? Despite global modern HR system often ignore the rich cultural and ethical tradition that shape human behavior. This had led to biases, inefficiencies, and at times organizational breakdowns. To address this, we turn to Dharmasastras, the ancient Indian text that offer not just spiritual insights but actionable guidance on governance, ethics, and human behavior. Our core objective is to explore whether integrating these participants' principles and perceptions into global HR systems can improve efficiency, reduce bias, and enhance workplace culture in multinational settings. So, the research overview concentrates basically on why these are not considered, why the cultures of the respective countries, especially in India, we do follow Dharmasastras, which is an ancient book which has not been considered, and how it has been ignored in order to implement the HR policies in most multinational companies. As the multinational companies have diverse cultural background, each people involving has their own respective background, homeland cultures or traditions to follow in order to implement both in workplace and professional settings. So our research methodology objective is to concentrate on how our research could enhance the different aspect of culture upbringings that could enhance the productivity of the people working in the respective countries in the multinational and national companies. Methodologically, our research combines qualitative and quantitative approaches. We conducted interviews with over 40 domain experts, including Vedic scholars, HR professionals, CEOs, and legal experts, and surveyed between 500 to 800 professionals across industries. We used a blend of ethnography, regression analysis, psychometric tests, and AI-based tools like neural networks and Tableau for data visualization. So the research framework is all about how it illustrates the integration of our Dharmashastras, psychology, and Western management system to create an ethical and efficient global workforce culture. The model examines how Vedic principles can address issues in modern HR practices while respecting cultural diversity. So some of the major research questions that we need to concentrate: can Dharmashastra influence human behavior to create more ethical and conscious workers? Can reframing organizational hierarchy using Varna Shashrama Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, and Guna theory enhance productivity? Can Manusmriti and other ethical principles help fix flaws in Western HR system? How can Vedic ideas offer psychological support and promote ethical decision making? These are not just theoretical curiosity, they represent real questions for HR practitioners in culturally diverse companies. One of our core insights comes from Guna framework, a Vedic model of personality. Here, Sattva denotes purity and calmness, Rajas denotes passion and dynamism, and Tamas denotes inertia and ignorance. By identifying these tendencies in employees, organizations can build teams or align with project needs and workplace culture. So, our hypothesis that has been generated from the literature review that states that human gunas correlate with cultural upbringing. In contrast, H2B shows that in Western HR context, this is often overlooked, leading to mismatches between role and temperament. Similarly, the Varna systems. To talk about the Varna system, the misunderstanding in modern disclosure is often being reinterpreted in our work as a taxonomy of organizational roles. So, we have Brahmins as intellectual strategists, the Kshatriyas as leaders and protectors, Vaishyas as economic and trade enablers, and Shudras as operational support. This structure aligns with modern job functions, and it's stripped for historical caste associations can be valuable framework for workforce classifications. We also explore the four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, and compare them with Maslow hierarchy of needs. Unlike the linear Western model, Purusharthas offers a clinical, spiritual, and more holistic approach to motivation. This provides deeper insights into employees' fulfillment, engagement, and long-term retention strategies. Another powerful concept is karma, especially Nishkama karma, the idea of performing work without attachment to results. It promotes mental clarity, ethical decision making, and resilience. This aligns with modern ideas like intrinsic motivation and mindful leadership. In contrast, Sakama karma, actions derived by desire for reward, can lead to burnout and stress if not managed properly. Balancing both is the key in today's reward driven corporate culture. The wisdom of Dharma Shastras, the analytics of modern psychometrics, the psychology of human behavior, the structural clarity of Western HR, we propose a HRM framework that blends all the above mentioned points. This hybrid model enhances cultural sensitivity, reduces conflict, and promotes sustainable and ethical management practices. In our next steps, we plan to finalize our framework through empirical testing in multinational firms, provide training modules to promote cultural inclusiveness and ethical awareness. In conclusions, Dharma is not a religious concept, it is a management principle, a leadership ethic, and a code of humanity. As we globalize further, HR practices must go beyond efficiency and compliance, they must honor cultural depth, ethical alignment, and psychological balance. Thank you for your time. I welcome your questions and would be glad to discuss collaboration that can help implement this vision across borders. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your research findings. If any question?
No questions from the meeting room.
We are concluding the session, and thank you all for joining this session. And thank you, Dr. Bilal, for evaluating all the presentations and sharing your views in evaluation result. Later, we will share with the participants. I hope that the participants of today's conference enjoyed this session. It was really great experience with all the participants, and thank you for joining this conference. I hope you will join the next conferences in other events organized by IARP and Glovento as well. Um, as per the papers I observed, all the papers were quite good, having good ideas with the good methodologies in achievable objectives, but still you need to consider improvements all the manuscripts before submitting it to the journals. If you are really interested to submit it to Scopus or peer-reviewed journals, I'm sharing our contact information. Here is contact email. You can contact us here, and I'm also sharing our WhatsApp number. You can contact here, and you will be guided how to submit your paper and how to do the required things before submission. Here is our WhatsApp number: 37963849. So you need to add this number if you really have questions regarding certificates, regarding proceedings, regarding paper submission or anything else. That's the one way fast communication. And those who are unable to join live session, they can still share their pre-recorded video PPTs, and we will upload it to our YouTube channel. So that's all from my side. But before that, can you please all open your cameras and we can have one picture? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we need to have one picture. Still two more. Yeah. 768. If you want to open your camera and join us for this one picture group photo. Okay. So be ready. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Bilal, if you want to have some concluding remarks, then we will end this session.
Thank you very much. I would like to congratulate all the authors, all the participating and supporting authors to ensure the conference happens successfully. All the presentations were remarkable, interesting. Much more, it was value addition to the science, which is the major idea of conducting this practice of organizing international conference. It's not only to just present, but also to have an insights from the other colleagues. Like we had the interaction with a lot of colleagues from Philippines, from Taiwan, and from Japan and Thailand. So it was interesting. Concluding for the best presentation award, it is very challenging. And I think the most interesting topic which we consider suitable to the conference topic and the other criterias like we had discussed about the presentation, the article, when it was submitted, we consider the paper number. Allow me to share. It's, I think, Professor Shakir, you can read out for me because I think
The paper is 768. No, not 768. Where is date paper? Sorry.
It is 758, article number 7. Improving
758.
corporate default risk, which is related to environmental, social, and governance. And since it is very much related to economics, tourism, business, I would like to nominate that presentation for the best paper award. And you can look at it.
Let me check this paper. Let me check this paper number.
It's in face-to-face presentation number 7.
Oh, so that's the in-person paper ID is 758. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. And will you share the results for the online one later, or you want to share it now?
I think maybe you can decide for the online. I already gave you the recommendation, so you can announce it by email. Yes.
Yeah, so the online one, we will have a discussion and we will send it to the emails, to the email of the participant regarding the online best paper, and you will receive the news soon. And also through your email, you will receive the proceedings along with your certificates, including the co-author certificates. Yes. If you have any other question regarding the conference, you can ask me now, or if you want to ask later, you can add that WhatsApp number. Any question? If no
Good
question, then
afternoon.
I think we need to finish this session.
Hello, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
When will be the update for is the conference proceedings be published?
The conference proceeding will be published in a week or two after the session today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, we have submitted I have submitted my entire article for the publications. So, when can I expect my publication process to be getting, will it finally get published? Or is there any discrepancy that can happen that it won't get published?
You mean you already submitted your full paper for publication?
Yes, sir.
For the peer review journal or Scopus journal?
I have submitted I have submitted an IARP only.
Okay, so if you have already submitted a full paper, I hope you will receive the submission notice soon, and you will be informed regarding the status of the manuscript step by step. Okay, don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any other question? Okay, if no question, then thank you so much once again for joining this session. And I already shared the contact information. If any further question or anything you want to ask, you can add those date WhatsApp number or through email. We will be available to provide you the information. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Dr. Bilal,
Thank you.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Wish everyone an excellent afternoon and also hope to see each other soon. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Goodbye.